hormati sekalian, sebentar lagi dalam lebih kurang daripada seminit kita akan mulakanlah sesi webinar kita pada malam ini ya. Terima kasih. Jadi dapat diharapkan agar yang hadir dapat mutekan mikrofon untuk melancarkan sesi program pada malam ini.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before we start the webinar, audience are reminded to mute your microphone throughout the program. There will be a quiz at the end of the program. Students are encouraged to participate and grab the prizes. Please remain in the webinar after the VIPs and lecturers leave. The attendance link will be provided at the end of the program. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang berusaha, Profesor Madya TS Dr. Sarifah Fauzia Said Rahman, the Deputy Director of Academic, UiTM Cawangan Terengganu. Mr. Nik Fakrul Hazrin Ihsan, the Head of School Faculty of Business and Management. Our honorable guest, Tuan Haji Ahmad Awaluddin bin Haji Ahmad Kamaluddin, who is also the speaker of this Professionalism in Logistics Service Operations webinar. The advisors for the webinar, Dr. Zatul Ifa binti Muhammad Fuza and Madam Nur Muslimah Kamilah binti Abdullah, distinguished operational management lecturers from UiTM Cawangan Terengganu Campus Dungon and UiTM Cawangan Selangor Campus Puncak Alam, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening and salam UiTM di hatiku. Welcome to the program of Professionalism in Logistics Service Operations webinar. To have the blessing for the program tonight, let us all recite the dua which will be led by our friend Muhammad Danish Ikram bin Zafri Halimi.
Auzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Ya Allah, ya Rahman, ya Rahim. All praise is due to the Almighty Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the world. May the peace and mercy of Allah be upon His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companion and followers. Allahumma ya Allah, with your mercy and protection, we are able to gather here on this beautiful night in the conjunction with Professionalism in the Logistics Service Operation webinar. We uphold our hand to pray gratefully to thank on your infinite favor for us till we can live in peace and harmony to perform our duty. Please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Please guide us to greatness, peace, glory and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Granted us with a valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind in order to gain your mardatillah. Make us your righteous servant that follow your command and neglect the sinful act. Ya Muzillah Barakah. May our gathering here are blessed one, and we humbly pray that we will successfully be able to achieve the aim and objective of this webinar. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamu alal mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you to Muhammad Danish Ikram bin Zafri Halimi for the dua. Hopefully, the program will be filled with the blessing from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Ladies and gentlemen, the Operation Management OPEM 2021 webinar program is held for the purpose of assisting students in broadening their perspective on the challenges that they will face in their future workplace, particularly in terms of managing service operations during this pandemic era. For your information, organizing a series of webinar is a collaborative learning among the students of Operational Management course from UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Kampus Dungon, UiTM Cawangan Selangor, Kampus Puncak Alam, and UiTM Cawangan Kedah, Kampus Merbuk. Next, we continue the program tonight with the opening speech from Professor Madya TS Dr. Sarifah Fauzia Said Rahman, the Deputy Director of Academic UiTM Cawangan Terengganu. Please welcome.
Thank you very much, our MC for tonight webinar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalatu wassalamu ala ashrafi anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Yang berusaha Mr. Nick Fakrul Hazri bin Hassan, the head of School Faculty of Business and Management. Our honorable guest, Tuan Haji Ahmad Awaluddin bin Haji Ahmad Kamaluddin, the speaker for tonight's Professionalism in Logistics Service Operation webinar. Respective advisor of the webinar, Dr. Zatu Ifah binti Muhammad Fuza, and also Madam Nur Muslimah Kamilah binti Abdullah, distinguished operational management lecturers from UiTM Cawangan Terengganu, Kampus Dungun, and also from UiTM Cawangan Selangor, Kampus Puncak Alam. Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to congratulate to organizer for the success of this Professionalism in Logistics Service Operation webinar. This certainly shows the COVID-19 is not a barrier for the students to cooperate together in organizing this search program. As everyone knows, the topic of webinar tonight is closely related with the service and logistic industries. I'm sure that everyone is excited to hear the sharing of knowledge and experience by our speaker. Thank you very much, Tuan Haji, for accepting our invitation. From the title itself, Professionalism in Logistics Service Operation, we can anticipate exploring more into the logistics service operation based on perspective of management and professionalism. We can see that courier service have been vastly grow, especially in this pandemic age. There are many new courier service providers such as Lalamove, Collector Courier, Ninja Van, and Parcel Hub, and maybe they have some others. The blessing disguise of the pandemic forces the legal users like me of online purchase to actively involve with online shopping. Numerous products have been smoothly delivered from the point of origin to the point of consumption. This is the situation that we common users can see. But there are more behind the scene issues that can only scrutinized by experienced person in the supply chain and logistic field. Inshallah, tonight we are going to have a big sharing session regards to the knowledge of handling logistic operation and work ethics that could be very useful to the student. Hopefully the student can stay until the end for this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, in embracing the new norm, I believe that students face various challenges in working for this program, especially when it's come to communicating, since all of you are staying miles away from each other. I am proud that the initiative done and the cooperation between students in making this program a success even in the period of online learning. Congratulate again for this synergy webinar has been mentioned to me. This is combining two code of courses from OPEM and also from hotel students. Okay, I would like to remind also everyone to still adhere to all the SOPs that have been formed for us. We must make sure that we can focus on fighting this virus, and hopefully that the current situation will improve so that we can continue with our normal life and we can attending physical webinar or classes next time. Not to forget, student from UiTM Cawangan Selangor and also from UiTM Cawangan Kedah for your eagerness in participating in this program. Although we are apart from each other, we can still participate in the intercampus program via collaborative learning. Thank you very much. This can help in strengthening our bond and friendship, and of course, UiTM sentiasa di hatiku. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to our guest speaker tonight, Tuan Haji Ahmad Awaluddin, for sharing his knowledge and experience with the students. I am confident that your vast experience and expertise will have a great impact on the student and help them have a better understanding of the working world. Without wasting any time, dengan lafaz yang mulia, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby officially open the webinar, The Professionalism in Logistic Service Operation. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. And thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much to Professor Madya TX Dr. Sarifah Fauzia Said Rahman for graciously officiating our program tonight. Before we listen to the talk, let me share the background of our speaker tonight. Currently, he is the Director of Supply Chain Management, Quantum Logistics Sendirian Berhad Company. He has vast experience in the field of operations, have worked in a variety of fields, most notably operation management. He has worked for well-known corporations such as CityLink, Nationwide Express Sendirian Berhad, and the Malaysia, United States, and Australia McDonald's. Throughout his career, our Penang-born speaker has shown a great deal of dedication and commitment. And definitely, he has a lot of insightful experiences and lessons to be shared with all of us tonight. Without further ado, I would like to invite Tuan Haji Ahmad Awaluddin bin Haji Ahmad Kamaluddin to share his experience and knowledge upon Professionalism in Logistics Service Operations webinar. Tuan Haji Awal, you are welcome to speak, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you to the master ceremony, Nurul Hidayah. Okay, very seldom for the female to become the MC. Yeah, fantastic. I would like to congratulate to you. You know, you have guts to do that. Okay, but first of all, thank you very much, especially to UiTM, to the lecturers, deans, professors, and of course, to the Professor Madya, Dr. Sharifah, and the rest of the students, especially for me, I call it as the Perwakilan Pelajar, and also the team from this particular faculty, which I believe comes from the business and management, inclusively with the hotel management as well. Yeah. Great, nice to see you all. Okay, fantastically. The most important here, it reminds me back when I was in ITM those days, in 80s. For those who came from ITM, normally we suffered a lot, especially I came from ITM Perlis. Masa di Perlis dulu, minum ayak kapok, mandi ayak sungai, all those kind of thing. So it reminds me back. Sebab tu rambut cepat jadi putih. Okay, so without further ado, let me just share with you my slide presentation. Just give me a minute. Hold on, yeah. Haji memang berambut putih. Sekarang ni kalau mengikut gambar ni, ini adalah airport di Changi, di Changi Airport. So I used to travel a lot those days, when I was still young. and in fact, when I started my career. So these are my contents that I'm going to share with the rest of the student. First, let me touch a little bit in terms of my education background, and I will touch in terms of my professionalism and my career path, as well as the introduction of the professionalism in logistics service operations. And number five, in terms of the supply chain management, the products and also the services. And number six, logistics management. Number seven, converting complainers to loyalists. Okay, majority of all you all might be facing, complaints, especially from customers or even internal in between, like student against the lecturers and so on. So how to convert the complainers to become the loyalists. And last but not least is UITM Terengganu. You already shared with me your wish list, or in other words, your questionnaires that I need to answer. I will go through one by one after this. And last but not least is the facilities and the value added service. Yeah? Or I call it as the Q&A session as well. So let me start with my education background. But while you go through with my slide presentation, you will see all this nice view. Okay, but don't be surprised, all this nice view are actually painted. Okay, so Haji ni orang yang suka seni. So seni ini macam-macam, seni drama, seni lakon, seni lukisan, dan sebagainya. So one of it is art. I love art actually. Haji boleh melukis dulu. In fact, Haji pernah melukis sebelum ni di beberapa majlis dan sebagainya. So just would like to share with you, all these are very fantastic view. So let me just go through with my education. Okay, so Haji bermula dengan bersekolah di sekolah rendah. But when I was in primary school, I've learned from the church school. We call it an Assumption school. This particular school actually operated during the British colonial in those days, and when there was after war, they opened this particular school especially for those Bumi Putra students. But actually, that was around 1960s. So the school is a fantastic school, even though it is a church school. So that's why you can see when I speak in English, I sound like a British person, but actually I'm not. I'm actually just a simple Malay guy. Yeah. So I've learned English since day one. I joined them when I was in standard 1, right until standard 6. Then after that, they also have Form 1, right until Form 3. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I scored all my result 100%. 100 bahasa Malaysia 100, macam-macam lah, semua 100. Agama 100, apa saja yang diajar semua 100. So dalam arti kata buku rekod tu biru je. Seronok mak abah kita tengok kan. And then Form 5, Form 4 until Form 5, I scored straight A's. Yeah. And during those days when I was in school, how do I learn actually, especially how do I learn English especially? Because I took the 1119 and 1112 English, meaning the British literature English. In fact, I managed to score A's as well. Or in other words, 4 flat lah. Nowadays we call it 4 flat. Those days kita panggil A, B, C dan sebagainya, ataupun pangkat 1, pangkat 2 dan sebagainya. So because of that, Haji sebenarnya ditawarkan JPA untuk meneruskan pelajaran Haji di luar negara. Tetapi sebabkan ayah Haji tak berapa sihat, so Haji hanya memilih untuk belajar di ITM, Institute of Technology of Mara. Back in 1989, Haji grad lah. Haji masuk pada tahun 1986. That was in Perlis. So bayangkan di Perlis masa tu college tak berapa banyak, kuliah agak berjauhan. So I got to travel a lot. Kita terpaksa jalan kaki lah. The worst part adalah waktu kita nak mandi, solat dan sebagainya. Yang ada cuma disediakan air sungai dan juga air telaga. So that is the one of the best challenges lah yang Haji pernah go through. In fact, waktu time Haji tu pusat agama Islam baru nak ditubuhkan those days. So I managed to grad diploma in banking with 3.7 point, in other words. And then I managed to pursue my study, in fact, when I was with McDonald's. So my first job, actually, I joined with Penang Government Cooperative. So after this, I'm going to share with you my career path. But before that, let me just share with you in terms of this McDonald's. So McDonald's sebenarnya universiti dia terletak di Ohio State. As you can see in the red color there, Hamburger University is located in Ohio State, Illinois, USA. And this university has been operated since the year of 1940s. So majority of those students came out from Hamburger University. They are somebody nowadays. In fact, for example, the CEO or the managing director of McDonald's Malaysia, which is Haji Azmin Jaafar, he's actually graduate together with me. So Haji dengan dia sama batch. So he's currently the MD of McDonald's Malaysia. So we came from the same university, which is Ohio State. But then masa study Haji di sana, tetapi Haji ambil Haji punya degree ataupun bachelor daripada Sydney, Australia. Sebab masa tu currency agak tinggi untuk Haji nak pergi ke US. But I managed to pursue all this. I managed to overcome all those predicaments and so on. And then, of course, a lot of people definitely will ask me about the, about this Hamburger University. Is the Hamburgerology a real degree? So the answer is, it is. Hamburgerology is an actual thing. Majority of the graduates from McDonald's, not just to become a McDonald's manager or a McDonald's management. At the end of the day, they can become a good marketeer, they can become a good salesman, a good director, and so on. So just share with you, how good is the McDonald's. Okay, especially for those people who came from hotel line, the hotel management. Okay, this is a good platform if you manage to become one day as the McDonald's manager. Okay, now back to my career path. Before that, let me just share with you my professional membership and certificate. Before that, you can take a look, a very nice tree here with the snow. Okay, all these are actually in overseas. Right. Okay. Haji actually is a member of the AFAM, or they call it Air Freight Forwarders Association of Malaysia. I'm also the members of IATA, the International Aviation and Transport Association, and I'm also a member of AHMAD, Association of Malaysia Express Courier. Haji pernah menjadi setiausaha bagi AHMAD, or Association of Malaysia Express Courier ni pada tahun 2010. During that time, I was the COO of the company. So I used to become the secretary of that particular association. Besides than that, I also carried the professional certificate, which is Integration of Supply Chain and Logistic Management. Sampai ke hari ini, Haji masih ada lagi valid IATA Dangerous Good Regulation because the company required someone who is very senior and very experienced to handle all those dangerous goods. So imagine we are dealing with a lot of dangerous goods, even like weapon, fires, bullets, and so on. Even cars are also considered dangerous goods. And I've already gone through the corporate governance since in the year of 2002, since it was being introduced back in millennium during that time, in the year of 2000. So these are the emblems or the logo of the IATA, AHMAD, and as well as AFAM. As you can see at the bottom part, the company which I've joined managed to become the best coach in logistics from Frost and Sullivan. Okay, Frost and Sullivan is actually located in Singapore. They are one of the top public accountant, similar as what we have down here, like PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, and so on. And besides than that, AirAsia has become the best low-cost airline. From IATA, the recognition is from IATA, and also the best courier company from AMAC when I joined Nationwide those days. Best airport operator when I joined the RBI Highcom. During that time, I was in KLIA. And last but not least, I have been selected as one of the best McDonald's manager in Asia Pacific. Bukan senang Di seluruh Asia Pasifik, Haji terpilih menjadi the best McDonald's manager back in 1998. So because of that, they appoint me to go down to Australia and work with Australian for a couple of years. So imagine McCafe yang you all suka sangat minum, McCafe dalam Malaysia. So McCafe itu adalah idea di antara Haji dan juga owner of McDonald's Australia back during that time back in 1993. So my idea is actually a kopitiam concept dengan konsep berpayung, menyediakan beberapa tidbits, cakes and pies, all those kind of thing, and then to be served with coffee. Imagine masa tu Australian dia tak suka minum kopi, dia suka minum teh. Tapi Haji ni orang Penang, jadi suka minum kopi kopi kedah, kopi kantang dan sebagainya lah. Okay, so come back to next slide. Okay, my career milestone. If you Google nama Haji, just letak Ahmad AWALUDDIN bin Ahmad KAMALUDDIN, sampai ke hari ini Bloomberg masih lagi belum padamkan nama Haji sebab Haji masih ada lagi saham di bawah Nationwide Express. So I was the former COO of Nationwide Express Courier Service, di mana syarikat Nationwide Express Courier ni sebenarnya di bawah FIMA Group. So secara tak langsung, Haji also become the director of the Nationwide Express those days back in 2010. So I joined them for about a couple of years. Before that, I was with the RBI Highcom. So you can imagine if nama you tersenarai di dalam Bloomberg bermaksud you carried a very good brand lah in a sense of Sebab masa time Haji tu, the company was was about to to change from what they call a new direction in the sense of from the normal business to become a key player for the courier. Sebab Nationwide Express adalah courier Bumi Putra untuk pengetahuan semua. Satu-satunya courier Bumi Putra yang masih lagi ada di dalam Malaysia. Besides Post Malaysia lah. Post Malaysia adalah di bawah kerajaan those days. Okay, so ini adalah Haji punya career path. As you can see, I started my career back dekat bawah sekali you all boleh tengok. I started my career after satu nak bagi tahu pada semua pelajar-pelajar. Kalau you adalah student yang bagus, especially when you are in part 5 kalau tak silap je sebab semua sekali ada lebih kurang 3 tahun pembelajaran, unless kalau ada 4 tahun pelajaran tahun terakhir, your final, of course you ada part 5 and part 6. So if you score di part 5 3.5 and above, orang cari you untuk minta you bekerja dengan dia. So it happened to me waktu tu Penang Government Cooperative di bawah tampuk pimpinan Penang State. So Haji melapor diri direct kepada bekas Ketua Menteri Pulau Pinang waktu tu adalah Tan Sri Lim Chong Yu. So bayangkan Ketua Menteri tu. So by the end of the day, I managed to overcome, my nervous, my what they call, I managed to overcome all those predicament in the sense of I got the guts, to overcome all those. Masa Haji join Penang Government Cooperative, pada 3 bulan yang pertama, I was only been appointed as the executive level. But then after 3 months, I've been, promoted to become the assistant manager. Just imagine that after 3 months. So meaning kita bawa value pada syarikat tersebut. So Penang Government Cooperative, of course, they started as the normal cooperative di mana bagi pinjaman dan sebagainya. But then dengan idea-idea baru daripada Haji dan juga the whole team, it's not just from Haji, but also the whole team, I managed to pursue with them to promote this Penang Government Cooperative, also to have few other businesses like menjual barang-barangan seperti those days yang agak popular adalah brand Singer, brand Singer. So menjual ataupun motorcycle, especially brand Bonsiu, Honda Bonsiu. So those days Haji banyak keluarkan banyak business plan lah. I come up with a lot of business plan. So same goes to when I was in McDonald's Malaysia and Australia. But before that, macam yang disebutkan oleh MC kita tadi, I was in US in in 1994. After I joined McDonald's those days, they taught me everything. They taught me everything in terms of technical and also soft skill. So McDonald's satu yang bagusnya adalah the training is fantastic. They believe in training. They invest a lot in terms of training. So guys, in order for you to become a good manager, you have to have a lot of training. Kena banyak buat training. Same goes to you nak score dan sebagainya, kena banyak buat training in terms of answering question and so on. So back in 2000, sejak daripada McDonald's Malaysia, bila Haji balik semula ke Malaysia pada tahun 1999, hujung tahun, in the year of 2000, Haji since Citylink, Haji has been headhunted since Citylink, start daripada Citylink. So bayangkan daripada Citylink Express, DRB Highcom, Nationwide Express, Metroport Asia, dan sampai ke Cold Chain Network, dan sampailah terkini Quantum Logistics. Haji has been headhunted. Memang orang cari Haji, bukan Haji cari kerja, balik. Orang cari Haji because they need someone who got the experience in order to overcome their business problem and so on. So I just give you an example. When I joined Citylink Express, macam yang adik-adik semua nampak di Saujana Putra, lokasi di Kuala Lumpur, di Selangor, sepanjang highway plus highway daripada utara nak menghala ke selatan, you akan pass by Elite Highway. You can see a big warehouse which is stated as Citylink Warehouse. So that warehouse was actually my mission and vision when I joined Citylink those days. Sebab masa time Haji join Citylink Express, dia punya courier dia, barang dia terlampau banyak, influx, macam gunung. But I managed to overcome all those by coming out with a lot of entrepreneurship program, a lot of business planning and so on. So Haji banyak menggunakan otak kiri instead otak kanan. Otak kiri, sebab kenapa Haji kata otak kiri? Sebab Haji adalah salah seorang pelajar yang dikategorikan sebagai photogenic memory. Okay. So just to share with you all, cuba guna banyak otak sebelah kiri instead of otak sebelah kanan. So otak sebelah kanan banyak memory dan sebagainya. Tetapi otak sebelah kiri ni kita photogenic memory kan benda tu. Okay. Kita tangkap gambar apa yang dia ajar, lepas tu kita olah balik untuk jawapan dan sebagainya. So use that in order for you to come up with a lot of business strategies. So when I was with Citylink, those days back in 2000 right into 2005, so therefore the business grew. As you can see, masa tu the owner is Mr. David Tan. Now he became Dato' David Tan already. So same goes to DRB Highcom when I reported to the former group managing director, which is Tan Sri Muhammad Kamil. Masa Haji report dengan dia, Haji cuma panggil dia Abang Kamil because dia datang daripada Bayang Lepas. Haji datang daripada Air Hitam Pulau Pinang. So bayangkan ibarat macam adik report dengan abang lah. So kita panggil dia walaupun dia group managing director, but because a very good relationship between one department to another department, one entity to another entity, even though he is the group managing director during that time. But he's only during that time dia adalah Encik Muhammad Kamil saja. Masa Haji report dengan dia dulu. But then now he became one of the most highly paid managing director those days, because sekarang dia dah retired. Now he became the the advisor for the RB Hicom and reporting directly to Tan Sri Muhammad Tan Sri Bukhari. So next one, when I was with the RB Hicom, Haji became the general manager of cargo division. During that time, AirAsia belum ada lagi AirAsia X. So when I joined them in 2005, AirAsia X diperkenalkan pada tahun 2007. So Haji lah yang membawa masuk AirAsia X ke dalam KLIA masa tu, sebab ura-ura dia orang nak beroperasi di Subang Airport. But I managed to pursue with them and bring them to come over to KLIA. And then when I was with Nationwide Express, as I mentioned, it is a subsidiary of Prima Group. I was the COO of the company. It's a fantastic company, but now I can see that company is declining because poor management nowadays. Sad to say, I already left the company, even though they asked me to go back, but sad to say, I can't do so because the thing is, Haji punya perangai very simple. Haji akan move ke depan, Haji tak akan go stand ke belakang. So when I've been headhunted by Metroport Air Services, actually Metroport Air Services is the subsidiary company of the AirAsia Cargo. So when I was with them, this is where I've been I've been asked by Kazana because during that time when I was with DRB Hicom, I've already reported to Kazana as the key person for the supply chain management. So during that time when Pak Lah was our Prime Minister, so Pak Lah requested me to go down to the whole Middle East, which covered Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and also the rest, Qatar, Bahrain, and so on. So that's why you can see on your left-hand side the photos. I was in Abu Dhabi, UAE, those days, and then I also became the guest speaker in MSU, Shah Alam. You boleh nampak Haji handle light helicopter dekat Subang Airport. Bukan senang nak handle light helicopter masuk ke dalam container lori. And you can see when I was with my PA, we organized Royal Vintage Car Exhibition. Bayangkan kita berurusan dengan Royal ni, banyak protokol. There are a lot of protocol, but then I managed to overcome all those. And then I was with Amy Search di Tokyo when I was in Japan Halal Food Fest. Haji mewakili Kazana those days. And when I was in Vietnam, masa Haji join dengan Quantum. In Manama, Bahrain, when I was with AirAsia those days. And in Madinah, Saudi Arabia. So Haji duduk di Saudi almost 4 tahun, hampir 4 tahun di sana. Sebab tujuannya adalah untuk mendapatkan landing right bagi AirAsia di semua negara-negara Arab. So that's why my mission accomplished, alhamdulillah. I came back, then after that, they asked me to look after Cold Chain Network. It is also the subsidiary of Khazanah Nasional, also a JLC to the Khazanah. So they asked me to become the senior manager and also the director of this Cold Chain Network. And last but not least, currently, which I'm still with Quantum Logistics, even though I'm a director of the supply chain, when I started my career, I was the general manager. That's my position. But now I'm the director of the company. And Haji baru 53 tahun, but then tahun depan Haji sebenarnya dah boleh pension sebenarnya. So in other words, Haji dah put in a lot of effort when I was with all this company. So as you can see, my last mission and vision is to ensure that the company managed to accomplish their vision, mission, and also their objective. Okay. And last but not least, you can take a look on my right-hand side, the small photo, Haji dengan Datuk Sri Mustafa Muhammad when he was the Menteri Perdagangan those days di bawah Kerajaan Najib. That was in Sydney, Australia. And bersama dengan Raja Perempuan Besar of Perlis, satu untuk pengetahuan semua, Haji dengan kerabat-kerabat diraja ni memang rapat, especially Perlis, Selangor, Terengganu dengan Sultan Mizan dan keluarga dan juga Sultan Perak. Haji memang rapat dengan diorang sebab banyak benda yang Haji dapat soft bagi kerabat-kerabat diraja, terutama sekali bagi raja perempuan besar, sebab raja perempuan besar di Perlis ni dia suka pocor-pocor. So happen dia tahu yang Haji boleh menari pocor-pocor, dia tarik Haji masuk, join dengan dia. So imagine Haji pun kena dengan dia orang. Okay, that is about my career path. Right. So before I proceed with the contents of the introduction professionalism in logistics service operation, I would like to give you all a simple teka-teki. Teka-teki yang paling mudah. So let me just stop share for a while. I nak tengok muka-muka you all. Sebab kalau tidak, Haji tak nampak. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so banyak sangat Haji bercerita kan. Okay, so don't worry, Haji orang Penang. Bila cakap Melayu, dia jadi bunyi Penang. Apa khabar semua, dah makan belum? So Penang memang cakap macam tu. Tapi orang Penang ni just one thing, just to share with all. Tak semua orang Penang datang daripada pulau. Ada kebanyakannya datang daripada Butterworth dan sebagainya, from mainland. So orang Kedah dia faham lah. Orang Kedah, orang Penang, orang Perlis dia memang faham. Orang Perak pun dia memang senang faham. So anyway, but when I speak in English, you can't even hear me, in a Malay language. You can't, how to say, it's not a Manglish, it's not a street language. Even though Haji macam you all, boleh bercakap dalam bahasa Mandarin, Hokkien, sebab Haji datang daripada Penang, boleh cakap Hokkien. So Haji boleh bercakap dalam bahasa Mandarin dan sebagainya. Contohnya, 我的名字是 AHMAD AWALUDDIN, which is my name is actually AHMAD AWALUDDIN. 我从槟城来, 我从槟城tu Penang. Kan, 我从槟城来, aku mai daripada Penang, betul tak? Okay, so just to take a short break, okay, because now it's actually 8:47. Sebenarnya tadi sepatutnya Haji kena berhenti sebab masuk waktu Isyak tadi 8:24, 8:25 Di Penang 8:25, di KL 8:24. Okay, so I'm going to give you a simple teka-teki. Teka-teki Haji yang pertama. Okay, dengar you all. Kalau boleh bagi jawapan dalam chat room ataupun bagi jawapan dalam apa sajalah. My simple teka-teki adalah, apa satu di depan, dua di belakang? Haji ulang. Apa benda satu di depan, dua di belakang? Itu teka-teki simple je, very simple. Tak payah pening-pening kepala. Okay, apa satu di depan, dua di belakang? Okay, right. So let's take a break for a while. Just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. But I'm sure. Let me just share with you all in terms of sebuah lagu yang Haji memang suka sangat. Okay, especially this guy. Hopefully you all boleh dengar dengan jelas. Give me about 5 minutes.
فجرا جئت بعد العسر يسرا ربنا أعلاك قدرا يا إمام الأنبياء أنت في الوجدان حي أنت للعينين ضي أنت عند الحوض ري أنت هاد وصفي يا حبيبي يا محمد يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك. يرتوي بالحب قلبي، حب خير رسل ربي، من به أبصرت دربي. يا شفيعي يا رسول الله، أيها المختار فينا، زادنا الحب حنينا، جئتنا بالخير دينا، يا ختام المرسلين، يا حبيبي يا محمد، يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك.
Okay, let us continue. Okay, sorry for a short break. That is because the nature calls. Right. So let me just continue back the slide presentation. Give me a minute. Okay, very nice view, right? Okay, let me continue with the introduction of the professionalism in logistics service operations. Okay, what is actually the professionalism in logistics service operations? Okay, first of all, let me just share with everyone. If you want to become a very good professional, no matter whether a manager, excuse me, whether a manager or let's say once you grad, definitely the first job that you might pursue is to become the intern, or probably there might be some internship program, or they call it the basic management and so on. So first, what I am going to share with you, okay, take this very seriously. Come up with the one-page strategy business plan. What you are going to do, okay? I'm going to share with you shortly. And number two, focus customers' needs and wants in total logistics solutions. Because why? Once you manage to delight the customer can like you so much. Okay. And number three, position the right people to the right task. Let's say if you become the executive of the certain department, example, ensure that if you have been given the chance, to get the right candidate, please ensure you get the right people to the right task. Tak semestinya you recruit student-student yang 3.5, 3.7 and above and so on, or even 4 flat and above. Because the thing is, majority of all the students, they akan pursue right until PhD and so on. But if they join you, that will be great. They will be great because they have brain. Yeah, they can think very wisely. And number four, ensure that you come up with the automated system to each customers, because customers is very important. Come up with the track and trace technology. How to come up with this track and trace technology? Just imagine, especially when you purchase something from Lazada or Shopee and so on, especially from Alibaba, you need to track your shipment. Same goes to courier business. You would definitely would like to track your shipment. So please ensure that you must come up with the track and trace technology. Dalam dunia sekarang ni, dalam Malaysia dan sebagainya, kita ada very simple track and trace technology. Bumi Putra kita pun ramai yang dah keluarkan this track and trace technology. So, let me just share with you example. Ini adalah example di mana masa-masa mula-mula Haji join Quantum Logistics. When I joined Quantum, before I joined Quantum, I come up with this business plan. When I come up with this business plan, I call it a one-page strategy business plan. Because why? Because Haji akan buat sedikit siasatan. Okay? Haji akan siasat dulu company ni macam mana, apa dia punya strength, apa dia punya weakness, then apa opportunity. Come up with the SWOT analysis. So after I come up with the SWOT analysis, I notice ada 7 benda ni tak ada pada syarikat tersebut. Okay, just give you an example. Quantum Logistics adalah kepunyaan China Malaysia. Okay, his name is Michael So. He opened the business in the year of 1992. Bisnes dia adalah yang paling simple, which is console business. Console business ni ibarat contoh, kutip kargo daripada semua forwarder ataupun agent-agent, and then dia akan hantar ke satu-satu buah negara. Even import shipment dia akan break bulk dan akan deliver ke seluruh Malaysia. Itu adalah core business dia. Tetapi bisnes-bisnes yang lain seperti air freight, sea freight dan sebagainya yang membabitkan secara detail, dia tak ada langsung bisnes tu. So that's why I come up with this one page strategy. So I just give cara nak baca this one page strategy adalah dari kanan ke kiri. Ibarat macam kita baca Mandarin pun sama, ibarat kita baca Jawi pun sama, daripada kanan ke kiri. So Haji mulakan dengan halal logistic implementation. Okay, please ensure that you should be able to target new customers, especially like electrical parts, FMCG, pharmaceuticals, apparels, cosmetics, biohealthcare, and so on. Because why? All these are actually halal products. When I say electrical part, ramai orang tertanya, apa benda yang electrical part yang memerlukan halal? Baik, Haji nak tanya, bila you masak nasi menggunakan rice cooker, kita ada part-part yang digunakan pakai untuk ataupun komponen bagi electrical part tu, especially for the rice cooker yang bahagian dalam tu untuk nak masak nasi, dia memerlukan halal compliance. Okay, same goes to the slow cooker, even cherry electric dan sebagainya. Yeah, even iron, sebab you nak iron baju, kalau iron tu datangnya daripada sumber-sumber yang tidak halal, maka baju yang you pakai tu adalah tidak halal. At the end of the day, you tak dapat solat dan sebagainya. So can you imagine that? Same goes to cosmetic. Cosmetic contohnya bedak-bedak dan sebagainya. So it's similar. It is actually similar. Yeah. And then existing customers. Target existing customers, especially manufacturers, retailers, suppliers with quantum, to teach them about halal logistics. Because majority of all the quantum logistics customers are actually halal compliance. Do you know or not, when I joined Quantum Logistics back in 2019, they only have 4,000 customers. 4,000 customers. But now, today, 2021, there are 68,000 customers. Bayangkan. Berapa banyak besarnya difference, gap yang begitu besar. So, halal mainkan peranan. And then secondly, talk about cross-border, truck flight and backhaul tracking. Okay, compliance with halal tracking integrity. We talk about cross-border between Singapore, Malaysia and Thailand. And now even I come up with the cross-border right until China. Daripada Malaysia terus ke China, 5 hari perjalanan lori. Schedule truck flight. Truck flight ni ibarat kata macam kalau kita nak guna penerbangan daripada Kelai ke Penang, kita boleh pakai juga lori yang kita declare sebagai truck flight, iaitu dia bukan penerbangan tapi dia adalah lori yang akan berfungsi to be on the road, but we declare using AWALUDDIN and also master AWALUDDIN. But this truck flight majority to the international airport. So I just give you an example to either all Malaysia major airport or the international airport and Singapore ports. Okay, backhaul tracking. Bila adanya lori pergi ke front haul, which is contohnya daripada Shah Alam menghala ke Terengganu, ada barang. Tetapi bila balik daripada Terengganu balik ke Shah Alam, kalau tak ada barang, meaning you are not 100% profitable. Because why? You did not fully utilize the truck usage. Okay. And then next one is 4PL management. What is 4PL management? 4PL management is to take over the current existing business run by big companies. Like Ditlem, DKSH, Tesco, which is now turned to Lotus, Maidin, QSR means the KFC, Pizza Hut, Berjaya, which is like Starbucks, 7E and so on, IDS, which is the pharmaceutical company, and also Western Digital. Okay, when I say to take over the business means, kalau dia ada, dia outsource, kalau dia outsource dia punya fleet transportation, then we take over the whole fleet plus dia punya current existing fleet yang dia ada. Okay, probably like Tesco, they have their own truck, but we take over the whole truck under Tesco, but we run on their own. We run ourselves on behalf of Tesco. So that is what the meaning of 4PL. Okay. So 3PL means we run as normal as the vendor instead of 4PL. Okay. So that's the meaning of 4PL management. And then the next one is fleet management program. When I say fleet management program, it involves a lot of fleet facilities, which is trucking, prime movers, and so on. If the company, especially Quantum Logistics, if they have their own haulier, it will be cost savvy because they know how to manage the cost. So I've taught all this to Quantum Logistics. At the end of the day now, when I joined Quantum Logistics back in 2019, they only generate the revenue of 90 million only, 90 juta saja. Sekarang Haji dah bawa syarikat ni, Quantum Logistics, to 250 million already. Sampai month of November is 250 million. That's a lot of gap. That's a lot of difference. And then next one is air freight GSA business. When I said GSA means the general sales agent ataupun cargo sales agent. Bila cargo sales agent ataupun general sales agent, dia menjual space cargo di dalam penerbangan. Contohnya macam AirAsia. AirAsia dia punya cargo dia kecil saja, iaitu belly hold, di mana you boleh sumbat dia punya cargo daripada pintu belakang ataupun daripada tail, we call it tail of the airline. Tetapi kalau mengguna pakai macam mass cargo means the whole airline boleh bawa cargo tanpa passenger. So that's the meaning of cargo aircraft and also commercial aircraft. Okay, so same goes to offer AirAsia X with the build up and the breakdown service. Build up bermaksudnya kita susun kotak tu cantik-cantik mengikut kontur badan kapal. Breakdown adalah kita turunkan balik kotak-kotak yang telah kita susun for delivery purpose. Gain blanket cargo space from AHMAD ataupun from the Malaysia Express Courier, okay, to cater with 143 couriers company in Malaysia. Okay, so itulah termasuk macam tadi Profesor Madia cakap, Ninja Van, Lazada, Express dan sebagainya. Nowadays, there are so many courier companies. And last but not least, I come up with the overall business plan, which covered overview of the 2021. And this is current, 2021 and also 2022. Which is we need to be more realistic, specific and measurable business plan. And Quantum Logistics sampai ke hari ini tak pernah ada call center. They don't have any call center in order for customer to lodge complaint, or even for customer to praise the company, or even for the customer, or not just customer but sometimes even the vendor to lodge complaint. So I managed to come up with the call center 24/7. 24/7 bermaksud kita cover 24 jam dalam tempoh seminggu. So all these are the details. So I'm not going to proceed with this. It's just a repetition as what I've already mentioned. You're going to go through all this when you receive this particular slide. Okay, we'll be sending over by Nuiza later on and also Amirul. Okay, so let me. These are the 24/7. This is how it looks like. Okay, this is what the most important that you need to know. Apa bezanya between supply chain management and also logistic service? Okay, supply chain management is the management of flow of goods and services and includes all processes, okay, that transform raw material into final product. Bermaksud, supply chain management adalah yang paling besar, okay, di mana dia punya key element dia adalah we need to do a lot of planning, we need to do a lot of sourcing, especially raw material, manufacturing sebab they need to manufacture product, they also involve in delivery and also return. Return bermaksud barang tu nak kena pulangkan balik, mungkin rosak ataupun ada manufacturing defect and so on. So, supply chain management is actually a process flow, a complete process flow daripada proses di mana you berhubungan dengan negara luar. Sampailah you bawa masuk produk dari negara luar untuk dibawa masuk ke dalam Malaysia dan sebagainya, even daripada Malaysia ke negara luar. So that is a complete supply chain. Supply chain management also not just involved in planning and so on, but I'm going to share with you, they involve banyak benda termasuklah services. So these are the product and services yang membabitkan a complete supply chain. And so I will start from left to the right because yang ini daripada quantum logistik, bukan daripada HAJI. So daripada quantum logistik, so dia mula daripada kiri ke kanan. So we will start from sea freight. It involves a lot of Incoterms for sea freight, ex-work, FOB, and so on. Haji akan share dengan Nur Izzah a complete schedule tentang dan juga istilah-istilah yang diguna pakai dalam Incoterm dan bagaimana Incoterm tu nak diguna pakai. Haji akan share dengan Nur Izzah. I'm going to send her the quantum calendar, and same goes to the rest of the the deans and lecturers. Okay, so so that is sea freight. Air freight, okay, sorry, go back to sea freight. Sea freight dia menggunakan pakai bill of lading. Itu adalah dokumen yang paling penting untuk sea freight. Tetapi untuk air freight dia menggunakan pakai house away bill dan juga master away bill. Ada perbezaan tetapi penggunaannya tetap sama. Di mana di dalamnya ada data tentang shipper, consignee dan juga detail tentang komoditi, weight dan sebagainya. Detail tu tetap sama tetapi rupa bentuknya adalah berbeza. CFS stand for Container Freight Station. Container Freight Station bermaksud dia adalah satu stesen sebagai transit di mana dia akan terima kargo daripada negara luar ataupun daripada dalam Malaysia nak transit ke negara luar. Contohnya, Haji bagi contoh, katalah from Hamburg to Indonesia. Hamburg akan turun dulu di Port Klang. Bila turun shipment tu di Port Klang, kita akan konsol dengan daripada barang yang datang daripada Malaysia ataupun daripada keluaran negara kita, atau kita akan combine daripada negara-negara luar seperti contoh Vietnam, Thailand dan sebagainya. Kita konsol dan kita forward ke Jakarta. So tetapi untuk nak konsol, there must be a warehouse in the FTZ. That is the meaning of CFS warehouse. Dia syarat dia adalah it must be in FTZ. Okay? Ataupun free trade zone, ya. And then next one is 3PL warehousing and distribution. Bila kita sebut 3PL is a third party logistic, bermaksud it is a vendor. Kita menjadi vendor bagi customer kita. Contohnya Quantum menjadi vendor untuk Lee Kum Kee, untuk McDonald's, McFood. McFood adalah manufacturer bagi pihak McDonald's. Same goes to Martin Brower. Martin Brower juga merupakan manufacturer untuk McDonald's. Martin Brower dia punya production dia adalah patty, beef patty dan sebagainya, bun dan sebagainya. Tetapi McFood pengeluarannya adalah ayam, chicken product, majority macam nugget, finger fries and so on, all those kind of thing. So kita menjadi vendor bagi dia, bagi company-company yang besar ni untuk menyimpan barang-barang mereka dan kita buat distribution melalui transportation kita. Halal logistic meaning your company must also be halal certified. When we say about your company, it means your warehouse and your logistic. Okay? Logistik di sini Haji bermaksud adalah transportation. Warehouse tetap warehouse. So imagine kalau kata you tak ada warehouse halal, you tak boleh simpan produk halal. Okay? Same goes to your fleet. Without the halal fleet transportation, you can't carry halal product. So same goes to cold chain logistic. Cold chain logistic bermaksud warehouse you adalah warehouse sejuk beku, mempunyai suhu sejuk beku dan juga aircon dan sebagainya. Next one is a cross-border trucking, macam Haji kata tadi, in between Malaysia to Singapore to Thailand and right until China. And 4PL logistic, as I mentioned just now. Talk about dangerous good handling. Dangerous good handling ni sebenarnya untuk airline dan juga untuk sea freight, dia hampir sama, okay, sebab dia hanya ada 9 kategori. Okay, untuk dangerous good dia cuma ada 9 kategori. Kategori pertama iaitu jenis-jenis seperti mudah terbakar. Yang paling betul-betul mudah terbakar adalah senjata, peluru dan sebagainya. Yang kita kata ada belerang, benda yang senang untuk spark. Untuk spark macam tu, itu adalah nombor 1. Dan nombor 9, daripada nombor 1 dia ada senjata dan sebagainya. Lepas tu gas dan sebagainya. Sampailah ke kategori 9. Kategori 9 yang dipanggil sebagai miscellaneous. Miscellaneous di sini bermaksud even kalau you bawa kereta, dalam kereta you mesti ada enjin, mesti ada bateri. Sama juga dengan motorcycle. Motorcycle dia ada enjin, dia ada bateri, dia ada tangki minyak dan sebagainya. So that's why you boleh nampak apabila KLIA ataupun Poklang dia menerima kereta-kereta contohnya Formula One untuk pertandingan Formula One. Imagine they got to bring out all those what they call battery and also emptied the the petrol tank to ensure that that particular product doesn't becoming the what they call the time bomb for the airline. So that's why we call it a dangerous good handling. You must be able to know how to handle all those dangerous good handling. Okay, Haji akan share a little bit in terms of this DG later on. Transloading bermaksud transshipment, tetapi ini lebih kepada transshipment di bahagian kapal dan juga di bahagian penerbangan. Kapal sama ada kapal laut ataupun kapal terbang. Transloading ini hanya berlaku di kapal saja, dia tak perlu masuk ke dalam warehouse. And then buyer consolidation dia membeli secara konsol tetapi bukan secara full container. Door to door delivery seperti courier macam you all tengok, pick up barang daripada Penang hantar ke KL, next day delivery. Kalau hantar ke Sabah Sarawak, probably 2 or 3 days after that. Custom clearance as usual, custom clearance menggunakan K1 ataupun K2 dan sebagainya. Kalau boleh, kepada mereka-mereka yang ambil bahagian transportation and so on, belajarlah tentang custom clearance because that will benefit you one fine day, insyaAllah. So Haji ada ilmu semua ni, termasuklah bahagian last kali, which is transshipment program. As I mentioned, CFS adalah facility untuk transshipment. Transloading hanya berlaku transshipment di bahagian kapal, sama ada kapal laut ataupun kapal udara. Tapi transshipment program adalah betul-betul program di mana dia hanya singgah sementara untuk kita divert balik untuk keluar balik shipment tersebut. So these are the product and services. So I've already mentioned all this very clearly. So as you can see, ada LCL, ada FCL. LCL adalah konsol, FCL adalah full container. Okay. Air freight, as I mentioned, it involve international export and import, air console to East Malaysia, charter flight. Kadang-kadang kita terpaksa charter flight. Haji pernah handle charter flight daripada Russia, which is Antonov, kapal terbang bernama Antonov. Sejenis kapal terbang. Macam Asia sekarang, kebanyakannya adalah Airbus 323 ataupun kita panggil Airbus 300. Kenapa Haji panggil 323? Sebab bermaksud ianya adalah penerbangan pendek. Airbus brand dia adalah Airbus 300, but 23 itu bermaksud dia cuma boleh bawa penumpang kurang daripada 300 penumpang, di antara 230 ke 300 penumpang. Itu bermaksud 323. Okay. And then AirAsia Act dengan penerbangan 340, Airbus 340. And then kalau you tengok Malaysia Airlines, kebanyakannya adalah Boeing, sama ada Boeing 727, 727 ataupun 777, 777. So itu adalah kapal yang paling besar di mana dia ada lower deck dan juga main deck. So all these adalah di dalam air freight industry. Kalau you all boleh tengok, ada door to door delivery juga, ada multimodal transport, ada custom clearance, marine insurance dan sebagainya. Next one is CFS, macam Haji kata tadi, dia mesti terletak, syarat dia mesti terletak di dalam free commercial zone ataupun free trade zone. Itu syarat wajib dia. So, apa yang you all nampak dalam warehouse tu, seperti dalam gambar, ia ada berlaku console shipment, transshipment, distribution dan sebagainya. So, inilah facility yang ditawarkan kepada pelanggan-pelanggan ataupun customer yang kita ada. Okay, now come to logistic management. What is logistic management? Logistic management is actually part of supply chain management. So bayangkan sebenarnya supply chain management tu adalah ibu kepada logistic management. Logistic management ni hanya adalah sebahagian daripada supply chain management. Meaning what? Meaning logistic management, okay, is actually to implement and control the efficiency and the effectiveness of the forward and reverse flow and storage of goods. Itulah warehouse. And also services and related information, membabitkan juga dari segi information, which is IT information, between the point of origin and the point of consumption in order to meet customers' requirement. So secara mudahnya, logistic management is associated with only maintenance and storage of goods. Bermaksud logistic management is actually a warehousing. Tapi kalau setakat warehousing saja, kalau tak ada distribution, tak boleh juga. So that's why I call it logistic management covers warehouse and also transportation. Okay, so that is logistic management. So these are the warehouse, as I mentioned. Okay, I call it as 7R. That is the quantum logistic principle. Now, dulu memang tak ada benda-benda ni dalam quantum. Gambar yang adik-adik semua tengok, ini adalah gambar kisah benar. This is the fact jet, in the sense of, ini adalah kisah benar, inilah rupa sebenar sekarang warehouse di quantum. Masa Haji mula-mula masuk quantum dulu, barang semua berselerak habis. Tak ada standard, tak ada prosedur, tak ada apa. Tak ada SOP pun tak ada. My goodness. So I managed to overcome all those. That's why ilmu yang Haji ada di dalam McDonald mengajar Haji untuk Haji turunkan ilmu Haji kepada semua kaki tangan Haji di bawah 3PL warehouse in order for them to come up with this cantik, kemas, bersih dan sebagainya. So we practice the 7 rights, which we call it as we will ensure the right product in the right quantity and the right condition is delivered to the right place at the right time to the right customer with the right price. So ada 7 right kat situ. Kenapa Haji guna konsep 7R ni? Bila the best thing, probably I'm not too sure whether you heard this, do things right from beginning. That is always the principle. Okay? Do things right from beginning. Ibarat macam ayah mengajar anak. Kalau ayah nak mengajar anak bersolat dan sebagainya, mengikut kata keislaman, ya, bersolat, berpuasa dan sebagainya, ayah sendiri kena bersolat, berpuasa, berzakat dan sebagainya, betul tak? So that is the methodology. So Haji gunakan the same methodology as ensure that everything is right. So strategically, as you can see, in quantum we have 130,000 square feet warehouse. We offer both general and also bonded storage. T3 warehouse management system. We also have, we call it as T3, tier 3. Okay, we affiliated also with other warehouses, which it comes about 150,000 square feet storage space. And the services is included transportation, storage, pick and pack, inventory management, packaging, labeling and stickering. Kalau adik-adik besok bertugas di dalam warehouse, you all understand apa yang Haji cerita sekarang ni. Okay, one finding insyaAllah. Next one is halal logistic. You all semua tahu tentang halal. Tetapi soalannya, tahu tak macam mana nak dapatkan halal bagi satu-satu warehouse dan juga logistik? It's not an easy job. You must have knowledge. So, start from now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, pursue, if you want to pursue in logistic, start to pursue to learn how to get and how to gain halal certification. Okay, so I just give you a very simple way of how to gain the experience. First, you need to Google. Of course, you need to Google. But actually, Haji ada satu lagi syllabus, lebih kurang dalam 70 ke 80 slide, just to talk about how to gain halal if you work in any company that can give you an extra value added. Your value added, I'm talking about you yourself in terms of how can you bring something to the table. Okay, in other words, what is the benefit of you to the company? So one of it is how can you bring halal logistic or how can you bring halal toiban to the company? Yeah. So I just want to share with you in terms of our services currently, we managed to gain the halal, which is for the warehouse and also transportation. And these are the certification. As you can see, ini adalah kisah benar. Kalau you all perhatikan, target to gain halal certification adalah pada April 2021. Sebenarnya Haji dapat this halal certification sewaktu dalam PKP ataupun MCO during the pandemic of COVID-19. Imagine, bukan senang nak dapat halal sewaktu dalam COVID-19. Bermaksud auditing daripada pihak JAKIM, they did through Zoom meeting, and also through they did through drone system. I have to use drone system to show them the location of each inventory in our warehouse. So you just imagine that. Cold chain logistics, as I mentioned about the cold warehouse, which covered the aircon, the chilled, the frozen, and also deep frozen. Kalau adik-adik semua tak tahu, ice cream yang kita makan, it must come with minus 18 degrees Celsius ataupun negatif 18 darjah right until 25 darjah. That's why ice cream Häagen-Dazs agak keras kalau you nak makan, ataupun ice cream Baskin Robbins. But ice cream Nestle, ice cream Wow dan sebagainya agak lembek. Kenapa? Because they only position at minus 10. Sebab ice cream tu murah sikit. Okay, temperature control, as you can see, ini adalah salah satu warehouse yang Haji build up semasa Haji di dalam cold chain network, which currently the company changed to the name of Nichire Logistic Company, Nichire Logistic Cold Chain Network. So as you can see, the cold warehouse, we affiliate with few cold warehouses. Total pallet positions is about 10,000 pallet position with 20 loading bays. Okay. And also the compartment, you boleh nampak dalam lori pun kita boleh buat dual compartment ataupun 3 compartment, because why, you can carry different temperature. The front temperature, which is near to the refrigerated system, you can carry freezer. In the middle, you can carry chill, and the last portion you can carry aircon temperature. So imagine, ini adalah salah satu cara di mana kita keluarkan idea-idea baru kepada syarikat, di mana idea-idea ni diguna pakai, dan sekarang ni di copycat pula. Banyak company dah start copycat apa saja idea yang Haji dah come out untuk syarikat cold chain. Tracking system, as you can see, we managed to come up with the tracking system. You boleh nampak nombor-nombor yang tertera tu adalah nombor-nombor lori yang sedang bergerak waktu tu. Masa Haji ambil gambar ni, dia sedang bergerak. Yang warna hijau bermaksud dia sedang bergerak. Yang warna biru, dia adalah stagnant. Dia berhenti untuk unloading proses. Hopefully you can view this particular slide. Bagi Haji boleh nampak kereta sedang bergerak. You all boleh nampak ke kereta sedang bergerak? Kereta ke lori sedang bergerak? Hopefully lah. If not, when I share this slide, you can take a look. Okay.
Boleh tu Haji.
Boleh nampak ke?
Boleh.
Boleh nampak? Okay. So inilah salah satu cara Haji buat presentation, menggunakan animasi sedikit lah kan. Kalau tidak orang boring. Ada sedikit animasi di mana you boleh nampak daripada overseas food right until consumer. So in between, dia melalui semua sektor. Sama ada manufacturer, importer, exporter, retailers or even distributors. Okay. So logistik yang terbabit adalah haulier and reefer. Forwarding agent, sebab kadang-kadang mungkin babitkan cross border. You perlukan agent untuk buat custom clearance. And also, of course, custom declaration. Halal cert, apabila you bawa produk makanan, you mesti ada halal cert. Certificate of origin, COC, ataupun COO, certificate of origin, dan juga Phyto cert. Phyto cert ni diguna pakai kalau ianya membabitkan produk-produk yang terkawal, terkawal seperti beras, dan sebagainya. So, as you can see, a lot of food product, majority adalah meat and poultry, seafood, dairy product, fruits and vegetables, condiments, and also beverages. Okay. Next one is cross-border trucking. As you can see, majority of cross-border trucking sekarang, kalau tuan-tuan nak tahu, ladies and gentlemen, majority of those cross-border truckers are actually non-bumi. Majority are non-bumi. But since I joined Quantum Logistics, I managed to pursue with 3 different companies. Bumi Putra, I asked them to start pursue with this cross-border. So initially when they started the business, kita start dengan hanya satu truck, lepas tu dua truck, dua prime mover dan sebagainya. Now currently easily I might say that we are running easily about 10 to 20 trucks a day, cross bordering between Malaysia, Singapore, Singapore, Malaysia, Malaysia, Thailand, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and China, and also Thailand to Malaysia. Bumi Putra Company. It's not easy for those Bumi Putra, but then it is an opportunity, for us to groom these people. So these are the cross-border truck, as you can see. We also use Bintang Syahdu. There are so many brands actually di luar sana. So inilah lori yang tadi you nampak ada kompartmen. Sebelah kanan sekali adalah kompartmen di mana kompartmen ni boleh dinaikkan dan diturunkan dan dilockkan. So these are the side curtain for the Buddha. Okay, for PL Logistic macam yang kata tadi, kita manage to run somebody's business on behalf. On behalf. So pharmaceutical logistic, ini adalah beberapa brand yang di cover oleh Quantum at the current moment. Okay, why Quantum? Because before I joined Quantum, Quantum has already established more than 20 over years. In fact, since 1992. But the problem with Quantum Logistics before I joined was there are so many people too complacent with their work, and these people are actually not the right people at the right place. Sad to say. So when I came in, of course a lot of people tak suka dengan Haji lah, sebab Haji banyak ubah benda, banyak ubah beberapa perkara dan sebagainya. So memanglah kita akan jadi orang yang paling tak disukai lah. But at the end of the day, baru dia faham kenapa Haji buat perubahan. So I told them we need a quality people. So we need subject matter expert and experienced team, which are the captain of the industry. So if you need a sea freight manager, that manager must be able to know how to do the export, how to do the import, how to do the custom clearance, how to do how to deal with forwarding agent, what is the Incoterm and so on, how to deal with even the vessel, even the vessel owner, and so on. Even they are able to communicate well with other parties. Their English must be very good. They probably the Mandarin and so on. So all these are the key element in order for us to get quality people. Same goes to, I believe, even for UITM itself. When you want to have your own student, definitely you choose the best out of the best, right? Before they become your student. So same goes to Quantum. So I told them, please hire quality people. And then talk about network and location. Ensure that warehouse and offices in major port and major cities, locally and internationally. So that's why when I joined, we opened a lot of offices outstation, especially in Vietnam, Philippines, Jakarta, Indonesia, Australia, in Sydney, and so on. So as you can see, even we also have KLIA office, and few other branches in our Malaysia, in our country. And also we must have our own custom clearance team. So before I joined, in fact, they don't have the custom clearance team. Semua pakai 3PL, forwarders, and so on. Okay, about why Quantum in terms of experience in hazardous cargo, the team must be able to understand and handle the DG product and the technology support, especially the IT software and so on. So these are the customers that we handle in Quantum Logistics. So imagine just the retailers itself. There are Aeon Max Value, or Aeon Big, we call it. Tasco, which is now Lotus, and also Maidin. Manufacturers, the big player like Nestle. Nestle, untuk pengetahuan adik-adik semua, Nestle ataupun kita panggil sebagai produk makanan ni di bawah FMCG. Nestle is the biggest food distributor in the world now. Haji ulang balik. Nestle is the biggest food distributor in the world. They actually came from Switzerland, Nestle ni. Bayangkan dia duduk dalam Malaysia, dia jadi one of the top main food distributor. So that's why dalam rumah kita, at least dalam rumah kita mesti ada Maggi, mesti ada Milo, kan? Sekurang-kurangnya lah mesti ada Maggi, mesti ada Milo. So those product actually from Nestle, yeah. And then Farm Fresh, susu Farm Fresh yang masuk dalam gegak Vaganza, bapak susu tu, Farm Fresh. And Lamsun, Yakult, Blue Archipelago. Blue Archipelago adalah ladang di bawah Khazanah, also one of the JLC under Khazanah. Ladang penternak udang galah dan juga udang harimau yang terletak di Terengganu. Kalau adik-adik perasan, ada terletak di Terengganu dan juga di Kedah. Ladang udang ni. And then FNN, which is minuman. High Fresh ataupun ayam dinding. You all mungkin tahu tentang ayam dinding. So that is High Fresh. Before this, they call it High Fresh. Sekarang dekat bahagian bawah tu adalah ayam dinding. Hokto, Deluxe Food, Makcik Karipap, Mac Food macam Haji kata tadi, di bawah McDonald, and also Ayam Mas. Ayam Mas adalah di bawah KFC ataupun QSR brand. The importers like Häagen-Dazs macam Haji kata tadi. Aiskrim yang paling mahal dalam Malaysia sekarang ni adalah Häagen-Dazs. And then also Ramly Burger, Unilever seperti Colgate dan sebagainya, itu di bawah Unilever. Okay, lambang yang you all nampak tu, kalau tak silap Haji adalah Apto. Ini adalah produk daripada Japan. Saikin, Daisho, Unifrozen dan sebagainya. So all these are actually our customer, macam Haji kata tadi. Ada lebih kurang dalam 68,000 customer. Actually dekat bawah tu supposed to be 70, not 7,000. Minta maaf. Typo error. Sorry. Okay. So before we go to converting complainants to loyalists, okay. Haji stop share sekejap. Haji nak bagi lagi satu teka-teki pada you all. You all kena jawab semua teka-teki ni. Especially the committee members. Okay, especially the committee members. Okay, soalan Haji teka-teki yang kedua Okay. Apa binatang yang boleh berdiri, yang boleh baring tapi tak boleh duduk? Ini binatang ni adalah burung burung. Minta maaf. Apakah burung yang dia boleh berdiri, dia boleh baring, dia boleh bergolek-golek tapi dia tak boleh duduk? Jangan bagi tahu kat Haji ayam pula. Kan? Ayam memang kategori burung tapi dia ayam yang kita makan kan. Dia bukan burung yang boleh terbang. So, ini kategori burung burung. So fikir-fikirkan dan jawapan pada teka-teki yang pertama tadi nanti Haji akan share sebentar lagi. Okay. So untuk membuang sedikit boring sebab asyik Haji duk popek, mulut pun dah kebas. Okay. So Haji nak berpantun sedikit pada you all, tapi sebelum Haji nak berpantun, Haji nak bagi sedikit exercise lah pada all the members, especially the AJK members and the committee. Okay, kita buat exercise muka. Biasa pendengar exercise muka. Kalau Haji berada di Dewan Kuliah ataupun Dewan Seminar, Haji akan buat team building punya konsep sebab Haji adalah license kita. We call it as license coach untuk team building So Haji boleh buat coach exercise dan sebagainya. Sekarang ni nak buat Zoom ataupun Google Meet ni kena buat exercise muka. So sekarang kalau boleh you all follow me lah insyaAllah. Kalau rajin buat exercise muka ni, muka you all akan jadi how to say sentiasa manis dan sentiasa awet muda lah. Senang cakap. Okay, so let us do this simple exercise. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, ikut aja Okay, buat macam ni. Kemek-kemekkan muka pipi ni. Pipi ni kemek-kemek. Kemek-kemek sikit pipi ni. Pasal apa? Pipi ni kebas. Dia kebas lah, ya Allah, nak abang apa ni, kebas. Especially Haji lah sebab mulut cakap banyak. Okay. Bila dah buat macam ni, selalunya orang perempuan, bila dia nak buat bedak, dia buat macam ni. Dia buat circle-circle macam ni. Panggil apa? Powder pack ke apa? Kan? Lepas tu nak buat maskara, dia tenyeh-tenyeh dekat dia punya kening mata. Okay. So bila nak kena tenyeh kening mata ni, kalau boleh daripada tengah ke kiri, you urut you punya kening mata ni. InsyaAllah lama-lama duk buat kening mata dia naik sendiri. Tak payah nak conteng-conteng pakai tu apa? Pakai maskara ke apa ke. Last but not least, dekat mata ni, pasal mata duk tenung benda Allah ni. Biji mata pun dah mengantuk dah. Ni. Tenis macam ni insyaAllah. Haji buat gini pasal apa? Buat haji pun mengantuk dah ni. Maklumlah malam Jumaat. Astaghfirullahaladzim. Okay. Kita break sekejap. Okay. So, tidak membuang masa sebab Haji ada lagi setengah jam ke ataupun sejam lagi? Iza?
Dalam setengah jam lagi.
Setengah jam lagi. Okay, so Haji kena express baik.
Dalam 20 minit macam tu.
Baik. Ini tengis ya, tancai man lai. Maksudnya tunggu sebentar. Jangan betulkan TV anda. Okay, sebentar. Okay, kita sambung. Okay, Haji ada lagi 2 topik lagi. Now, converting complainers to loyalists. Okay. Very nice castle. Ini adalah di Austria kalau tak silap Haji. Okay. Ini apa yang Haji share sewaktu Haji berada di Nationwide Express, di mana Haji share dengan the whole guest yang terletak di Ritz-Carlton, waktu tu dipanggil Ritz-Carlton Hotel di Kuala Lumpur pada 26 dan 27 bulan Oktober 2010, which I talk about Odin Haji adalah semua secretary dan juga customer service daripada semua company-company yang besar dan juga konglomerat dan juga corporate companies. So bayangkan Haji terpaksa menghadap semua awet-awet, tapi ada juga semua abang-abang kita pun ada. Mungkin salah seorang tu adalah Sajat. Mana tahu. Okay. So I talk about converting complainers to loyalists. So that's why you can see customer is our business. Remember this. Customer is always our business. So I talk about 14-point plan. Very simple. Ladies and gentlemen, how to overcome this complaint to become loyalists. My simple tip, ladies and gentlemen. First, number 1. Here are some vital tips. First, what you need to do when you have all this, no matter whether you as the employee, whether you as the manager, you as the frontliner and so on, if you face this, first what you need to do, listen carefully. That's what I need you to do. You need to listen carefully. Imagine if you receive a phone call from customer, which is probably the customer, very angry, nasty word, sarcastic, all this kind of thing. So please listen carefully. Allow those complainers to express their feeling. Dia marah ke apakah, kita dengar je lah. Jangan masuk campur. Bagi dia cool down, bagi dia cerita habis. Lepas dah dia cerita habis, kita jangan duk peli kat dia. Dia cerita, okay, hantar dah, okay, we face a lot of problem, the product haven't arrived, what is happening in your company and so on. Jangan people tahu cerita, oh ya ke? Is it? Oh really? Oh okay. Macam kita perli dia. Jangan buat benda tu. Okay, remember this. Remember by heart. Listen carefully and then show to your customer that you are attentive to their complaints. Number 2, ensure that you manage to calm down the complainers. How to calm them? Very simple. Okay, never query them back. When the customer complain, hey, your truck haven't arrived yet, hey, I've already checked with our driver. The driver said the truck is already in your place. Don't argue back with your customer. What you can do here is you will inform the customer, okay, we take note of your complaint. Let me check, okay, then I'll come back to you shortly. That's how you manage to overcome and claim. You manage to calm down. You manage to actually cool them. You need to cool the customer down. Okay. Katakanlah kalau customer ni datang ke office you, ataupun even imagine student dengan student, you ada project paper dan sebagainya. Okay. One of your what do you call your partner, your what do you call faculty studies partner nak complain dengan you. Of course, they will meet up with you personally. So if you come and see you, even the customer, they might come and see you personally. They are very angry. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, let's say now, you dekat McDonald's Malaysia, salah satu restoran ada di Terengganu, contoh. Tiba-tiba customer complain kata burger dia tak masak betul ke, ada something, ada binatang ke apa ke, ataupun something lah, something in a sense of the foreign object. If the customer is very angry, okay, don't argue with your customer in front of other people. You need to bring your customer out from the business. Politely get the complainer's name and contact number in order for you, to come back to the customer, especially kalau through phone call. Tapi kalau customer tu depan mata you, what you need to do is you show your sincerity. Show your sincerity. That's the most important. Okay, be polite. Remember this. Always be polite. Okay. Now, of course, you need to impress the customer that you are part of the solution, not as a problem. So you show your courtesy. You show your attentiveness. Okay. Next one, be friendly. Janganlah sampai be friendly sampai at the end of the day, your customer sampai terlampau friendly, and at the end of the day, the customer tu sampai boleh dapat compensation lah, reward lah dan sebagainya. That's not how it's supposed to be. Be friendly in the sense of jangan sampai tepuk-tepuk bau dia, just to become a friend. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, be friendly here. What I'm trying to say is, okay, you show your commitment in order to solve the problem. That's the most important. Okay, clarify what customers expect from you and the company to correct the problem. So you have to think. Jangan terus jawab immediately. Oh, I'm so sorry. We cannot. What do you call? We cannot return back the money which you purchased just now. Jangan cakap macam tu. Okay. You need to pull back yourself, bagi sedikit masa, at least you cerita dengan customer, especially macam customer dekat McDonald's tu Okay, ini pengalaman haji sewaktu haji di McDonald's di Bukit Bintang. Bukit Bintang adalah McDonald's pertama di Malaysia yang dibuka pada tahun 1984. I was a McDonald's crew those days. Waktu tu haji baru habis tingkatan 4, sedang tunggu result. Haji kerja dengan McDonald's di Bukit Bintang. Tengah haji serve customer, tiba-tiba customer suar pisau dekat salah satu counter crew di dalam McDonald's. Suar pisau. Kenapa dia suar pisau? Ini bukan komplain, ini bukan apa. Dia suar pisau sebab dia marah sangat dekat counter crew tu, sebab counter crew tu kata dia kepala botak. Salahnya adalah when the person come up with a statement of that bull person just purchased a burger and so on. You can't say that. Okay, imagine that. Dia sebut kepala mamat tu botak. Sekali kawan tu keluar pisau. Okay, dah betul-betul dekat dengan leher dia. So imagine, if that happen, immediately you have to rescue the situation. Rescue in the sense of, you kena pastikan counter crew you dapat tarik dia, and then yang mamat yang tengah marah tu, you dapat tahan dia. So luckily Haji belajar silat dan juga taekwondo. So at the end of the day, mamat tu tumbang. Alhamdulillah. Okay, but the moral of the story, what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to share with you all is, please, if that is so emergency, you need to take immediate action. But things that you cannot answer on the spot, don't answer immediately. Pull back yourself, cool down the customer. Take about 5 minutes. Think how to answer your customer. Okay? Now, as I mentioned to you, give them the solution. Don't give them problem. But never promise your customer, that you will come back within certain period, which is very short period. Give me a few seconds, I'll come back to you. Few seconds cepat sangat. Probably few minutes, you need to refer. You need to refer to your big boss ke, your manager ke, whoever they are. Then you will come back to the customer. Okay? Now, almost last, which is demonstrate that you are truly sorry. Give customers who complain your business card and assurance of personal attention when they call or come back to you. Okay, remember, as I mentioned to you, don't make any promise if you can't fulfill. Okay, if you promise anything, make sure you do it. Remember this. Okay, you have a deadline, but ensure that don't over the deadline. If you cannot meet, please ask for extension. Ask for what you call more time in the sense of. Okay, always come up with a follow-up call. Kalau you dah bagi solution dan sebagainya, always come up with a follow-up call. Tanya balik, are you happy with the solution or not? You know, something like that. And remember, complaints are the best hints of improvement in terms of your business. These improvements actually, at the end of the day, will still remain your customer. You are not going to lose your customer. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, if their complaints are handled effectively, they can be converted into loyalists rather than you will lose the customer. So remember this. Always remember this. Yeah. That the secret of success is actually passion. Always think big, spread love and joy. Okay. You will have blissful years ahead. Okay, now come back to UITM wishlist, whereby you already come up with your questionnaires. I'm going to share with the rest of the student today. Okay. I've already listed down all the questionnaires given. Let me just read out. Number 1, differences in service handling in different country or region. Okay. For different country or different region, majority, they have different SOPs, different work procedures, different custom requirements. I just give you an example. SOPs, standard operating procedure. Okay, imagine if, let's say, if you want to send your personal effect. When I said you want to send your personal effect, contohnya macam kita nak hantar kepada adik kita yang belajar di United Kingdom. Personal effect contohnya kita nak hantar tuala, baju, seluar dan sebagainya. Even kita nak hantar serunding, makanan dan sebagainya, kita boleh hantar sebagai personal effect. We call it as personal effect. Melalui penerbangan ataupun melalui sea freight. Tapi kalau sea freight lambat lah. Melalui penerbangan, hari ini hantar. Penerbangan contoh ke United Kingdom mengambil masa lebih kurang 8 jam. Tengok pada jenis kapal yang diguna pakai. 8 ke 9 jam ya ke London. Di mana barang tersebut akan melalui cargo process. Bukannya melalui passengers handling. Okay. Tetapi itu adalah SOP Malaysia. Tetapi SOP di negara Australia contohnya. Negara Australia tidak membenarkan sebarang makanan yang tak diiktiraf oleh Australia. Contohnya macam Maggi. Ramai student yang pergi ke Australia, first time dia pergi ke Australia, dia akan bawa Maggi sampai satu beg penuh Maggi. Beg tarik beg travelling bag. Penuh Maggi sampai Australia semua kena buang. Why? Because Australia disallow noodles, especially fried noodle that comes with MSG, the monosodium glutamate. So imagine that the Maggi yang begitu banyak datang dari Malaysia tak boleh masuk ke dalam Australia. So that's why I said different SOP, different work procedure and different custom requirements. This is wajib. Di mana-mana negara pun memang inilah masalah yang berlaku. Example, for example, McDonald's and logistic industry. Okay, for F&B, especially for the hotel management, for F&B or food and beverage, they use SOC. They don't use SOP. They use SOC. SOC stand for Station Observation Checklist. When I said SOC, bermaksud, contohnya, di dalam McDonald ada fryer dan juga ada grill. Contoh macam fryer, ada French fries fryer. Imagine, sampai sekarang Haji masih ingat lagi, French fries fryer, bila sebelum you nak masuk French fries, you kena thaw, T-H-A-W, thaw. You kena thawkan fries tu ataupun you kena lembutkan fries yang keluar daripada freezer sebab dia masih sejuk beku. You kena thawkan dia dalam tempoh setengah jam, 30 minit. Lepas thaw, you kena masukkan ke dalam bakul. Lepas tu you drop masuk ke dalam fryer dan you akan tekan butang fryer tu. Dia akan masak dalam tempoh 2 minit 15 saat. Tetapi pada 1 minit 15 saat yang pertama, you kena angkat dan goncangkan fries tersebut. Lengkap 2 minit 15 saat, you kena angkat daripada fryer dan you kena jerangkan minyak dia supaya minyak dia turun. So that's why boleh nampak basket tu dia terletak di atas fryer tu. Lepas tu fries tu akan diletakkan di sebelah kiri tempat di mana kentang tu akan diisikan dengan garam. Tetapi garam ni pula dia bukan garam biasa, bukannya garam laut dan sebagainya. Tapi garam yang telah diproses oleh McDonald's, kilang McDonald's di mana you kena lightly go through all those fries. That's why bila you makan fries McDonald compare dengan fries KFC dan juga Texas chicken dan sebagainya, fries McDonald sedap waktu dia panas sahaja. Selepas 10 minit yang pertama, fries tu akan soggy, dia akan lembek dan dia memang paling tak sedap untuk dimakan. So proses yang tadi daripada thaw sampailah you salting, sampailah you pack masuk dalam packaging dia, itu di bawah SOC. They call it as Station Observation Checklist. Okay? Now, what is the effective communication between you, management and clients from different countries or different region? So, Haji cadangkan, the best is to use SMART ataupun SMART. SMART means specific, measurable, individual, realistic and timeline. Okay? You can go through email, online meeting ataupun smartphone. Okay. Imagine you ada dekat Malaysia ataupun dekat Terengganu, tapi panggilan tersebut adalah daripada US ataupun daripada Australia. Kita dengan Australia kadang-kadang sampai perbezaan di antara 4 ke 8 jam. Dia tertakluk kepada musim-musim yang tertentu. Sekarang ni mungkin bezanya lebih kurang dalam 4 jam timing kita dengan Australia. Nombor 4, challenges in logistic management during pre-COVID. Kalau tanya ngaji, waktu pre-COVID, the problem that we face is cancellation of booking. During that time, it's very low price. Masalahnya, tak ada orang yang boleh buat waktu dalam pre-COVID. Sebab apa? Imagine, sea freight waktu tu tidak membenarkan kargo yang bukan kita panggil sebagai essential product untuk di-clearkan daripada gudang di setiap seaport. So, terpaksalah berlaku banyak cancellation of booking. Tetapi sekarang, during post-COVID, okay, insufficient facility pula, price soar. Bila Haji sebut price soar, bermaksud price dia increase gila-gila. Insufficient facility sampai kapal, bukan kapal tak cukup, masalahnya kontainer untuk isi kargo tu tak cukup. Ya, sebab China dia dah bulat-bulat monopoli segala kontainer-kontainer yang ada di seluruh dunia dia simpan. Itu China. During post-COVID ataupun sewaktu proses untuk pandemic dan after pandemic. Yeah, Iza, you want to say something?
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt Tuan Haji awal.
Yeah.
You may have 10 minutes left before we enter the Q&A session.
Okay, will do. So, all right. Next one is handling misunderstanding regarding price or anything else between company and supplier or customer when product has been shipped over. So, majority of the issue here is confirm booking. The confirm, remember this, confirm booking must be fully paid in US dollar or any agreed currency. So, Incoterm plays the role. Household or BL is an agreed contract. Remember this. Once booking dah confirm, you tak boleh cancel. You cannot cancel. No customer is able to cancel because it is an agreed contract. Okay. Next one, challenges facing customer contact person or department. Remember this, always request handphone number, email address, downline and finance contact number and also email address as well. Required, it is a requirement. Okay. What happens if it is service failure? If it is service failure, come out with the ERP. Explain what transpired to the customer, but always come out with ERP, which is emergency response plan. Execute it. What about problem of customer behavior? If customer behavior, what you can do here is tender loving care. You share your emotion. You put your extra extension to make someone or something look or even feel better. Ethical practices in company. So you refer next slide, I will share with you. SOP upon handling special item, macam Haji kata tadi, special personal effect. Okay, you need to declare high value personal effect or DG. Okay, number 12, unethical practice. Unethical practice, very, very simple, breach of contract ataupun breach of trust or breach of promises. That is perlawanan dengan unethical. Tip or advice for those who wants to work in logistics service. Ini yang ramai yang nak tahu. Okay, kalau tanya Naji, you must have this. Trustworthy, respect, accountable and responsible. Trustworthy, boleh dipercayai. Respect, you ada hormat. Accountable, you memang boleh bertanggungjawab. Dan responsible, memang bertanggungjawab dan juga memang boleh diharapkan. Okay, nombor 14, your work methodology, you will see from the next slide. Blockchain and so on. Okay, I believe you can go through all this after this. Hopefully Iza can share my slide presentation. I'm not going to pursue further because why I'm going to share with you all this one very simple. I just want to share less than 2 minutes. I work on the basis of mutual trust and respect. There should be no reason to damage both. So remember, always be trusted and be respectful. Amanah, or be always amanah, be entrusted. Sebab apa macam cerita Piramli, kalau you tak amanah, at the end of the day, one fine day, people tahu yang you bersikap menipu. Everyone has a leadership role. Exercise it, enjoy it, and make a difference. So there are so many books that you can read through. Be accountable, as I mentioned just now. Always practice this, Prasi. Responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Okay, but the most important is be accountable. Okay, keep challenging the process. You jangan selalu terlampau simple sangat sampai you tak ada proses yang baru, strategi yang baru. Because why? Result matters, not busyness. Lead manage, proactive leadership, rather than lack manage, reactive leadership. Assume that we are observing and appraising each other all the time, especially between you, student, and also your lecturer or your dean. First, remember this. First, the fact, then opinion. Jangan terbalik daripada tu. Talk smart, macam tadi Haji cerita. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Kalau smart is individual. Tell me how we can rather than why we can't. Together, always win. Okay, you alone, you win game. But together, we win championship. Okay, so that's about it. So now we open for Q&A session. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop share my slide. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, thank you to the speaker for your sharing. Next, we move on to the Q&A session, which is now open for all audience to ask any question to the speaker by commenting in the Google Meet chat room or YouTube Live. And I have collected the question. The first question is from Siti Amina, which is, as Tuan Haji is working in a shipment company, is there any chance where the barang yang company bawa is unlicensed thing? And what is your procedure if that situation happen? You got me?
Yeah, very clear, Hidayah. Can I call you Hidayah?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, when you said unlicensed, or in other words, it was not been registered. Okay, it was not been registered. Okay, very simple. Put it this way. When I was in courier company, when I was with Citylink or even Nationwide Express, okay, people, they tend to send drugs. They tend to send, remember those days, there are so many porn videos and DVDs, CDs, they tend to do that. But on the declaration form, they just put down there as personal effect. So because when you mention personal effect, what we understand is very simple. Personal effect are those like garments, the shirt, as I mentioned just now, shirt, towel, pants, and so on. But okay, they orang boleh tipu hanya pada documentation. But remember this, in airport and also seaport, there are scanners, X-ray machine. We can scan and we can go through. That's why those days, kalau you all masih ingat, I believe you all adalah kelahiran tahun 1990-an I believe. Ataupun masih 2000 ke atas. Ada yang 2000 ke atas ke?
2000.
2000, okay.
Yes.
Okay, as long as masih millennium, it should be good enough. Okay. Remember, in United States, they receive a powder. It's actually a white powder. Okay, white powder tu adalah sebenarnya adalah bahan yang boleh mematikan manusia. Sama macam COVID-19 Okay. Dia panggil sebagai anthrax. Powder tu dinamakan sebagai anthrax. Okay. Orang ingat benda tu powder, macam kita tengok tepung tepung, flour. But they declare down there as medicine. Tetapi nama pengantar tak ada, nama penerima tak ada, yang ada PO box. Because in US they have a lot of PO box, peti untuk dapatkan surat-surat, dia menggunakan box. Box ni dipanggil sebagai PO box ataupun post office box. So, satu hari dia orang terjumpa anthrax. Anthrax ni lah, sebuk ni lah. Sebuk ni membahaya sebab dia boleh mematikan orang yang terhidu bau benda tu. So to answer your question, okay, always remember this. If you are in logistic industry, please always come up with preventive measures. Okay, during COVID-19, a lot of people become panic. They do not know what to do. So the government come up with the SOP. The SOP state very simple. Please wear mask. Please sanitize your hand before you enter the premise, and then ensure that your distance is about, a meter away, right? But for those who work in the in office or in the warehouse, example, how are they going to do that? Imagine they need to drive the forklift and so on. So we come up with another preventive measures. Sebab kita guna pakai shower sanitizer. Shower sanitizer. In fact, kita juga buat RTK test untuk pekerja kita hampir setiap hari. Buang duit sedikit tak apa, tapi hampir setiap hari kita terpaksa guna RTK test. So that are considered preventive measures. So same goes to your answer. Okay, to your question, to answer it, the best answer is come up with the preventive measures. Always come up with the declaration form. There is a declaration form when you want to send something, no matter through air freight, sea freight, land transportation as well. You must declare what is the commodity. Remember this. So tak ada manusia yang boleh menipu. Dulu yes, sekarang tak boleh sebab sekarang semua ada X-ray machine di seluruh pintu masuk gateway Malaysia. Sama ada di cross border, sama ada Bukit Kayu ataupun di Padang Besar, sama ada di Langkawi, sama ada di Labuan, semua ada X-ray machine. So memang tak boleh hantar drug, you tak boleh hantar jewellery pun tak boleh. Jewellery ataupun duit cash pun tak boleh hantar. Dia orang dah boleh detect. Okay? So hopefully it answer your question. Terima kasih Hidayah. Next.
Okay, for the second question, it is from Hasna MD Daud, which is what type of job opportunity for Bumiputra at the company now? And if one has no high education level, is there a chance for him or her to be as the same position as you?
Okay, in quantum logistics, sad to say, I'm the only Bumiputra who is sitting the directorship and also as a senior, considered as a senior. Sad to say lah. The rest are majority Chinese. Yeah, as I mentioned, this is a Chinese company. But slowly, I start with the internship program. Okay. Luckily, my HR are all Bumis. Currently, all HR are Bumis. But then the group HR manager still Chinese. The rest of the top management are Chinese. Put it this way, very simple. Now, in order for you all as a student, if you want to join not just quantum logistics, but the rest of other logistic company, if you want to join, okay, as I mentioned just now, please score your best. Okay, do your best in order to score. Okay, the best is of course 3.5 and above, because why? You will gain first on degree. Yeah, that's for sure. The first on degree carried weight. Yeah. Okay, imagine anak haji 2 orang masuk MSU. Okay, seorang adalah doktor, sekarang doktor, super senior lah in the sense of dia grad pada 2016. And my second daughter, she's an accountant. She's currently working with me as an accountant in quantum logistics. So what does it mean? It means that both of my daughters grad very good. Okay, their result is fantastic. When they join the company, they manage to overcome a lot of problems, especially accountancy. Because in this type of company, macam Chinese company ni, diorang susah nak percaya dengan Bumi Putra. Tapi kita kena tunjuk kebolehan kita. So that's why I said, the most important, the 4 elements just now, the trustworthiness, the respect, the accountability and the responsibility. Kalau accountability, you memang bukan accountability tu yang belajar account saja, dah. Accountability means really you boleh buat benda tu. You can overcome any kind of predicaments. Predicament bermaksud dari segi masalah dan sebagainya, problem. Okay? Hopefully I answer your next question. Thanks, Hidayah.
Okay. For the next question is from Nurul, which is macam mana company Tuan Haji manage product from outside, especially halal food? Sebab kan ada kes ayam berkaitan dengan cartel and government.
Okay. Kes ayam ni sebenarnya yang cerita di PTP di Johor Bahru. Okay. Masalahnya adalah very simple. Bumi Putra yang menipu bagi pihak bukan Bumi Putra. Haji ulang balik. Jawapan dia adalah Bumi Putra yang tolong bukan Bumi Putra menipu kerajaan. Sebab apa? Sebab hanya Bumi Putra sahaja yang diberi lesen untuk import daging dari negara-negara yang diiktiraf. Okay, beef actually we got it from Brazil, we got it from India. Okay, even though di negara India, okay, dia tahu memang lembu tak boleh ekspor keluar daripada negara India. Itu Tuhan dia tu. Betul tak? Okay, lembu adalah Tuhan orang-orang India. Tetapi orang India dia tipu negara dia sendiri. Okay, dia sembelih lembu dia. Ini sembelih, betul-betul sembelih. Dia sembelih menggunakan halal thayyiban. Dia disembelih oleh orang Islam India yang kita panggil mamak. Okay, tetapi packaging diletak sebagai apa? Kebau. Dekat packaging tu diletak sebagai kebau. Ox, dia panggil ox. Dia tak panggil pun sebagai cow, cattle, beef. Tak ada, perkataan-perkataan tu tak ada. Tetapi untuk Australia, Brazil, Pakistan, yes, they were positioned that. Even in New Zealand as well. All these countries are actually the one that export to Malaysia the beef. Okay, to answer your question just now, kenapa ianya boleh berlaku? Macam Haji kata tadi, Bumi Putra yang telah diberi lesen tu adalah orang kenamaan Johor Bahru. Okay, Haji tak nak sebut siapa, tapi orang kenamaan Johor Bahru yang telah diberi lesen, oleh kerajaan Malaysia. Salah guna dan menipu, bukan setakat menipu Malaysia, tapi menipu diri sendiri, di mana dia bawa masuk bukannya daging yang dikatakan sebagai daging lembu. Ada juga daging lain, daging bewak, daging buaya dan sebagainya. Ada, bukan tak ada. Benda ni kisah benar memang berlaku. Tetapi yang benar-benar yang berlaku yang kata sebanyak hampir 40 metrik tan 40 metrik tan daging lembu yang katanya terdedah pada benda yang tidak halal, itu adalah kisah yang yang diwar-warkan oleh pemberita-pemberita. Sebab apa? Sebab ini adalah berita sensasi sebenarnya. Okay? Tetapi kisah ni adalah kisah yang bukan benar. Remember this, cerita yang katanya ada daging lembu bercampur dengan daging bukan lembu tu, itu tipu namanya. Itu bukan kisah benar. Kisah benarnya adalah daging lembu yang dibawa masuk tu betul daging lembu. Okey. Tetapi dia dah bawa masuk, disimpan ke satu gudang Cochin di Johor Bahru. Okey. Dan juga daging yang bukan daging lembu, yang kata daging non halal tu, dimasukkan dalam gudang yang sama. Itu yang sebenarnya berlaku. Bukannya dalam satu kontena tu bercampur daging-daging yang tak betul. Itu adalah story yang diwar-warkan oleh pihak media. Remember this So jangan dengar, senang cakap, jangan dengar berita palsu lah. Okey, kisah benarnya adalah itu. Dia terjumpa di dalam gudang, bukan dalam kontena. Remember that Okay. So clarify. If you want to know all this, clarify, you can clarify. No problem. Okay. Next question.
Okay, next question is from Umarun. Assalamualaikum sir. Is it possible if people who graduate in culinary arts UiTM pursue his study at Hamburger Uni? And what course available there? If possible, how?
Okay, my answer here is the best, please join McDonald's first. Start from scratch. When I said starts from scratch, yes, you can become the trainee manager. As a trainee manager, you will be paid with a degree holder's payment or degrees holder salary, okay, which is normally 2005 to 3002. That is the basic salary for the trainee manager. After 6 months, you will be given a chance to become the an assistant manager. They call it as if I am not mistaken, they call it as the fundamental assistant manager, taking care of McDonald's outlet. At the same time, you will be given the the degree syllabus. Okay, the degree syllabus will be given to you if you can achieve your position until as first assistant manager. Dia ada fundamental assistant manager, second assistant manager, and then first assistant manager. Kalau you sampai ke first assistant manager, percaya ataupun tidak, kalau Haji kata hanya dalam tempoh 2 tahun, you can become first assistant manager dengan gaji 4,800 sebulan. Okay. If you can become first assistant manager, maka you layak ataupun you dibenarkan untuk melanjutkan pelajaran you ke US. Itu pun kalau currency bawah RM4 sekarang ni. Kalau masih lagi RM4 ke atas, jangan harap dapat di US. The most that you can go is in Australia dengan harga RM3 perbezaan currency di Sydney, Australia. Okay. So mulalah career you daripada scratch. So how to start from scratch? Okay, Haji bagi contoh macam anak menakan Haji sekarang ni bertugas di McDonald dengan hanya diploma in, dia lain daripada yang lain. Diploma in land surveyor. Pelajar politeknik sekarang menjadi McDonald's manager tahap 1 which is assistant manager. So bayangkan. Dengan diploma. Tapi diploma you tak akan dapatlah gaji sampai 3,000. Gaji mungkin setakat 2,500 kalau tak silap je. 2,500 macam itulah lebih kurang. Okay. So untuk student culinary, so don't worry. You tak semestinya fokus pada F&B McDonald's saja. You boleh masuk macam-macam Burger King, KFC. Tetapi the best yang paling seronok bekerja adalah McDonald lah. Bagi Haji lah. Sebab cara pelajaran dan cara didikan yang ditunjuk oleh McDonald adalah yang terbaiknya di dalam McDonald, especially dalam Malaysia. Tapi andai kata kalau you dapat bertugas di luar negara, McDonald lagi cantik. Especially in Australia and also in New Zealand. These two countries, dia punya McD dia memang management dia cantik. Okay.
Okay. As for the time limitation, this will be the last question, which is from Maria KAMALUDDIN. Assalamualaikum. Saya bekerja di farmasi logistik hospital. Kami mempunyai cold room yang menyimpan ubatan yang mahal dan berharga. Jika sistem cold room tersebut shutdown, pada pendapat Tuan Haji, apakah perkara paling penting yang kami perlu buat? Setakat ni kami tidak mempunyai latihan atau simulasi untuk menghadapi situasi sistem shutdown ni.
So that's why dalam mana-mana syarikat, you kena ada fire drill. Fire drill ni tak semestinya belajar tentang macam mana nak padam api je. Kena faham dulu perkataan the word fire drill. Fire ni maksudnya memang berbahaya. Bila berbahaya, kena cepat-cepat bertindak. You all tak pernah lagi tengok di mana Haji bertugas di KLIA, di mana kapal terbang terhempas. Macam mana kita handle passenger yang cedera dan yang almost meninggal, yang almost nyawa dia almost zero. So that's why I call it ERP, Emergency Response Plan. So how to come up with this ERP? Now, for those who work in cold chain, you kena tahu dulu apakah temperature requirement untuk setiap satu produk. Kalau temperature requirement dia adalah aircon, maka suhu aircon, you tahu kan suhu aircon kalau you tekan butang remote control tu mesti 16 yang paling rendah. Betul? 16 degrees Celsius. That is aircon temperature. So aircon temperature dia ada range. Is actually between 18 degrees plus 18 degrees to 24 degrees. That is aircon room temperature. Kalau dia chill ni kita kata macam peti ais kita buka dekat bahagian sayur ataupun bahagian kita letak telur dan sebagainya dalam fridge itu panggil chill. So chiller temperature dia adalah +2 right until +4. +2 right until +4. Kalau frozen yang kita simpan ikan, daging, sejuk beku so that is -18 to -20. Okay? So kalau ubat-ubatan, andai kata kalau tiba-tiba korum, jangan kata dia tak berfungsi. Let's say blackout lah, senang cakap. Blackout tak ada elektrik. Betul? Kalau blackout, mana ada elektrik nak supply pada korum. So kalau kata let's say lah blackout ataupun apa sajalah yang berlaku sampai korum tu tak berfungsi, the first thing that you need to do is to recover back you punya pharmaceutical product tu. Selagi pintu tak dibuka, suhu di dalam korum tu, bilik korum tu, selagi pintu tak dibuka walaupun blackout dia masih boleh bertahan, suhu dia masih boleh bertahan selama 8 jam. Haji ulang balik suhunya masih boleh bertahan selama 8 jam kalau tak dibuka. Baik. Sekarang andai kata kemungkinan besok pagi nak kena buka juga dan kena ambil produk tu dan sebagainya. So, dalam tempoh 8 jam yang berlaku ni, what you can do here is try to get as much as you can dry ice. Dry ice ataupun kita panggil sebagai ice pepejal ataupun ais sejuk beku. Dry ice ni dia menggunakan gas nitrogen ataupun nitrogen in terms of dry ice ni untuk boleh diguna pakai. Jadi apa yang diperlukan adalah cuba dapatkan sebanyak mungkin foam box. Foam box yang kala putih tu yang you boleh bubuh ikan dan sebagainya dalam foam putih ataupun kita panggil sebagai medical box. So you boleh guna that box, you letak dry ice, you letak produk di dalam box tersebut. That's how to recover back in terms of temperature. While waiting untuk electricity ataupun room temperature tu recover balik. Itu kalau setakat aircon ataupun chill. Tapi kalau frozen, tak boleh buat macam tu. Okay.
Okay, that's all. Thank you so much to Tuan Haji Ahmad Awaluddin bin Haji Ahmad Kamaluddin for the sharing session. I believe fellow students and audience tonight have gained various positive input that can be applied in their daily life. So before we end the program, audience are asked to be prepared for a photography session. So please activate your camera.
Okay, so while waiting for the camera to be on and so on, okay, I noticed someone already answered about burung tadi Nur Alisa, I believe. Nur Alisa Syuhada. Betul, jawapannya adalah penguin You're right. You're totally right. Penguin hanya boleh berdiri dan boleh baring dan boleh bergolek-golek tapi memang dia tak boleh duduk. Okay, bagi jawapan yang pertama, apa benda yang satu di depan dan dua di belakang? Apa benda tu? Amirul, any answer from you?
I got the answer from the comment. Is it 12, sir? 1 and 2. Number 12.
Ya, betul. Jawapannya adalah 12. So, kalau you all nak tahu, nombor 12 itulah adalah nombor my lucky number. Okay, so Haji pernah, Haji masih mengguna pakai kereta Haji iaitu SLK 250 AMG. Kereta yang hanya boleh duduk 2 seat, 2 orang saja. Yang bumbung boleh terbuka macam cerita James Bond. Itulah kereta Haji. Plate number dia adalah WXX 1212. Itulah bendanya, 1 di depan, 2 di belakang. Okay. So, Haji ada soalan yang ketiga. Kalau tak keberatan, kita ada lagi beberapa minit. Teka-teki Haji yang penghabisan. Okay, ini Haji direct kepada Izzah lah, kalau Izzah boleh jawab. Okay, ada sebatang pokok. Okay, sila bagi tahu dengan Haji bagaimana Izzah nak tentukan yang mana depan, yang mana belakang pokok tersebut. Jawab. Benda ni tak payah fikir-fikir. Terus jawab. On the spot. Jeng. Tanam pokok. Tanam pokok. Okey, bukan jawapan dia. Okey. Hidayah, any answer from you?
Kalau macam kita tengok cerita Piramli tu, kita tenggelamkan dia. Yang timbul tu pangkal, yang tenggelam tu hujung, tak silap saya.
Itu hujung dengan pangkal. Itu hujung dengan pangkal. Haji tanya yang mana depan, yang mana belakang. Ada jawapan yang lain? Surrender. You punya lecturer semua pandai, smart. Dia orang tahu
yang mana kita hadap tu depan, yang selebihnya tu belakang.
Yang mana kita hadap tu depan, yang selebihnya belakang.
Maksudnya yang kita tengok tu sekarang adalah depan, yang kita tak nampak tu adalah belakang dia.
Yang kita tak nampak tu adalah belakang. Betul? Is that what you mean, Akmal? Okay. Jawapannya hampir tepat, tapi sebaik-baiknya adalah kalau kita betul-betul berdiri di depan pokok tersebut, yang di depan mata kita ni, yang distance dia lebih kurang tak sampai pun seinci pokok. Bayangkan ni, betul-betul pokok di depan mata ni. Inilah depan pokok dan di belakang itulah belakang pokok. Terima kasih Akmal. Yeah, very good. Well done. Okay, so with that, thank you very much, especially to all the students. I know it's a very tough subject, but the most important here, I believe all the students are waiting for the especially about the opportunity. What will happen to you all after you graduate? Okay, that is the most important. So my answer is very simple. Okay, yes, before you graduate, remember this, before you graduate, the first thing that you need to do is your CV. If any of you who wants to know and who wants to learn how to build a very professional CV, liaise with me. Very simple. Okay, sebab Haji ulang balik, Haji hanya hantar 2 kali saja CV Haji, which is ke Penang Government Cooperative, sebab masa tu dia panggil Haji untuk peluang bertugas dengan dia. Dengan dia tahu Haji waktu part 5, sebab pada part 6 result tak keluar lagi, dia tahu part 5 Haji score 3.8 something, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so Haji grade dengan 3.7 something, Haji tak ingat, 3.74 if I'm not mistaken. Diploma saja tahu, diploma saja. Tetapi diploma ITM pada tahun 1989 adalah sama seperti degree sekarang, you all punya degree sekarang. Cara pelajaran kita orang dulu, those days. So imagine, those days everything is in English, those days. Tak ada langsung pun dalam bahasa Malaysia. Nasib baik Mandarin tu, guru Mandarin ni dia alih bahasa dalam bahasa Inggeris. Nasib baiklah dia boleh cakap bahasa Inggeris. Kalau dia banyak Mandarin, dia tetap cakap Cina juga. Macam mana kita nak faham? Kan? So something like that. Even yang bahasa Arab, yeah, similar. But then what I'm trying to say is the most important in order for you to gain the opportunity to work, first thing that you need to do is CV, your curriculum vitae or your resume. Okay, if you do it correctly, you will have a chance to be interviewed. The most important is ada peluang untuk interview je. Masalahnya CV hantar beratus-ratus, beribu-ribu, satu panggilan pun tak ada. That's the worst part. Itu yang menyebabkan ramai student dia jadi give up. Okay, don't give up. The right CV will give you the opportunity. Okay? So with that, if you need, you can call me or even we can communicate. Amirul, I can share this with you all free of charge. Don't worry. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so we are ready for photography session. Hasana.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. And one more. Crystal, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Terima kasih banyak Tuan Haji. Banyak sangatnya ilmu yang sangat bermanfaat insyaAllah untuk semua.
Okay.
InsyaAllah ada masa berjumpa lagi kot.
Terima kasih Tuan Haji.
Sama-sama.
Terima
Terima
kasih
kasih Tuan Haji. Terima kasih. Terbaik knowledge ilmu yang diberikan.
InsyaAllah. So macam Haji katakan tadi, Haji dah berjanji dengan Izzah, Haji akan share tentang Incoterm. Incoterm dari segi logistik Incoterm, ya. So it's good especially for those student daripada transportation dan juga logistik, ya, dalam logistik industry. Okay, so with that, thank you very much. So kita jumpa lagi insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you so much for the cooperation. I would like to remind again that students are asked to stay for a while after the program for the quiz session. The prizes are waiting for the winners, so please stay. I will appreciate everyone's assistance to fill in the registration and feedback form of this event given via Google Meet chat room and YouTube Live. A word of thanks to everyone for your support in making our program a success tonight. With this, we sincerely apologize for any flaws or mistakes that might be unintentionally done during this program. As the MC of the program tonight, I would like to give a special thanks to all of you too. So that's all from us. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Hidayah, for the closing ceremony. I'm Aiman Hafi, and I'll be your host for our quiz game tonight. Okay, as we mentioned earlier, we're gonna sila guna nama panggilan anda beserta nombor telefon bimbit. Sebagai contoh, Aiman 018-231-4462. Ini supaya dapat memudahkan lagi kami untuk kesan siapa pemenang kuis sebentar lagi. So, the code for the game is 631565. You guys may enter the quiz now. Once again, I remind you, please insert your nickname and mobile phone number. If you don't, you may be disqualified. Now we'll take a few minutes for people to join. Probably around 10:35 or 10:33, we can start the quiz. All right, you guys excited? I'm quite super stoked to watch you guys, to see who will answer the fastest and win this quiz. I hope there will be like a close battle between you guys, because it will be fun. Because we've tried it before and it is quite fun. By the way, since Tuan Haji talked about McDonald's earlier, have you guys actually tasted their new McFlurry? It's quite good, for real. I'm not lying. You guys should try it. So now there are currently 24 participants that are joining. We will start the quiz at 10:35. Once again, I remind you, please insert your nickname and mobile phone number so that it will be easier for us to track and give your prizes later. If not, you may be disqualified. So please insert your mobile phone number also. Come on, guys. Where are all the people? Only 34 who joined. Siapa lagi nak masuk? Cepat-cepat masuk. Tak rugi tak cuba. Boleh dapat hadiah tau. So better join cepat. 10.35.
Hadiah dia apa? Bagi tahulah hadiah apa.
Hadiah tu rahsia. Dia kena join dulu. Dia kena main dulu. Kalau
Dia
tak,
kena worth tak hadiah tu?
okey lah. Saya boleh beritahu something lah. Yang hadiah tu bernilai something lah. Amirul dah suruh diam. Saya tak ada buat apa lah. Tapi serius. So confirm korang suka je kalau dapat hadiah ni. Sebab saya pun suka kak.
Yes, it will be very valuable to those who participate and to those who win the quiz.
Kita orang janji kita orang tak scam. Okay, 48 orang dah join. So lagi 2 minit untuk join. So we will wait for 2 minutes. Then we can start the quiz. The code for the game is 631565. So you guys better be prepared because ada soalan yang agak susah. Tapi I rasa semua boleh jawab. So lagi 1 minit je guys. 1 minit lagi untuk korang join. Kalau tak dah lambat tak boleh. Kepada yang baru-baru je join, sila masukkan nombor telefon bimbit anda supaya senang untuk kita orang tahu pemenang dia nanti. Kalau tak, kita orang tak kira pemenang tu. So kita orang akan cari pemenangnya yang selainnya. Letak nombor phone dan juga nama so that kita orang boleh senang panggil korang nanti. Tak adalah saya umum pemenang guna nombor. Rasa macam pelik pula nanti. So okay, nampaknya dah 10.35. So rasanya dah boleh mula. So let's not waste our time. Let's start the quiz. Oh, tapi nampaknya agak ramai, makin ramai yang datang masuk.
I think we should wait several.
We will wait for several minutes. Around 10:40 we start. Or we'll see if the participants keep on going. Then we will
Bagi
wait.
2 minutes je lagi lah. 2 minutes. Kesian dah lama orang masuk tu.
Betul.
Jangan lama sangat.
Siapa yang lambat tu, itu pandai-pandai lah. Rugi je dia. So cepat je guys.
Yang awal-awal tadi tu dah lama dia tunggu.
Ingat guys, jangan lupa masukkan nombor telefon dan juga nama anda. Letak nama simple je kalau tak muat. Letak nombor sekali. Letak nama panggilan. Masih sempat kalau nak tukar. Tapi kena cepat lah. Come on guys. Nampaknya sekarang ni ada 67 peserta. 68 peserta yang akan try untuk menang quiz ni. 69. Agak ramai je, nasib baik saya tak start tadi. Bagus lah, semua nak menang lah nampaknya. Dengan hadiah je semua laju Puan ni. Hafiz Hadi, macam saya kenal namanya. Welcome. Kita akan tunggu sebentar ya, so that semua orang boleh join. Sabar sana, sabar. Tahu excited, tahu. Saya pun excited ni nak tengok siapa menang. Hafiz Hadi tu kawan diplomat saya. Oh. Baiklah Izzah, baik. So lagi 1 minit je guys untuk join quiz. Cepat masuk. Aino Fatihah, cepat. Kena masukkan nombor telefon. Kalau tak nanti tak kira. Nanti nak bagi hadiah macam mana? Nak kena PM tepi nanti. Cepat guys. ...76 peserta ramai juga ni nak menang . Takut lah. Mesti
Korang kena bagi hadiah banyak.
Ya tu. Okay, Aina Fatihah. Sampai 2 masuk. Mana fair? Okay, nampaknya dah 10.38. Saya akan kira 10 saat lah. Itu last call lah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.5. Oh, 10. Okay, so let's not waste our time. Here we go. Hasanah, you may start the quiz. First question, supply chain management is the management of the flow of goods and services. That also includes all the processes that transform raw materials into final products. Is it true or false? What do you guys think? Which is the answer? Oh, Hafiz Hadi at the first place. Ni ada orang bagi intel ke ni? Cepatnya dia jawab. Looks like seorang je yang jawab salah. Unlucky for him or her. Next question. Where does the speaker work? Oh, dari tadi Tuan Haji cakap rasanya dah banyak kali dah ulang benda ni. Company mana dia kerja? Kalau korang tak dapat jawab, saya pun tak tahulah. Oh, Huda and Henderson out of nowhere climbs to 2nd place and 3rd place. So congrats to the 37 people who answered the right answer. Moving on to the next question. There are the principles that are being practiced in 3PL warehousing and distribution, except apa yang bukan prinsipal dalam 3PL warehousing? Oh, Tihani dan Siti potong Henderson dan Huda. 18 peserta jawab betul, iaitu jawapannya right supplier. Okay, next question. In which country does quantum logistics run behind by cross-border trucking? Satunya orang jawab. Masa dah habis? Oh, hampir setengah orang ya. Setengah orang yang tak jawab. Kalau susah agaknya. Hafiz Hadi masih mengekalkan dia punya tempat pertama. Ya, jawapan dia Singapore and Thailand. Tahniah kepada siapa yang dapat jawab. Boleh terus kepada soalan. Alright. Who is the speaker for today's webinar? If you guys don't know this, I'll be disappointing you guys. This is probably the easiest question in this quiz. If you guys don't answer this, I'll be only 49%. Are you guys paying attention? Looks like Tihani just potong Hafiz Hadi begitu je. Aish, baiklah Tihani. Hafiz Hadi ni sas ni. Okay. Jawapannya adalah Sir Haji Ahmad AWALUDDIN. So, next question. Not all employees, frontliners and non-frontliners should be trained to handle complaints. So let's see. What is the current Oh, Henderson climbs back at the third place. So the answer is false. Okay, next question. Agak sengit lah. Ramai lah orang jawab. Quantum Logistics AHMAD was founded in what year? Kawan ke apa? Quantum Logistics AHMAD. Let's find out. What is the place? Oh, City out of nowhere. Climbs back at the third spot, beating Henderson. So the right answer was 1992. Only 23% out of 82.
Nanti ingatkan ada yang question kena select 2-3 jawapan tu, takut dia orang tak alert benda tu.
Alright. Okay, next question. What is the current position of the speaker? Position apa? Tuan Haji dia. Tuan Haji dia. AWALUDDIN. Hafiz Hadi kembali ke tempat pertama nampaknya. So jawapan dia adalah Director of Supply Chain Management. Okay, sebelum kita proceed ke soalan seterusnya, seterusnya boleh pilih banyak jawapan, basically multiple answers lah. So jangan pilih satu je, ingat. Lepas tu ada button submit, so jangan lupa submit. Okay, moving on to the next question, Sarah. What kind of service does Quantum Logistics? Looks like most of you guys struggle a bit. I can see. City climbs back at second place, while meanwhile Hafiz Hadi is still at the top. Hafiz Hadi. So the right answer was warehouse and distribution, fleet management and trucking, and halal logistic and sea freight. So the last question is the same format. You can choose multiple answers. Hasana, next question. The last question of the day. This is going to be the last question, and we'll know who are the winners. Choose wisely. What are the key elements of supply chain management? Come on guys. This is the last question. Remember, only 3 people will win for tonight. Oh! No way! No way! Oh way! So the answer was delivery, sourcing raw materials, returns, and planning. Hasana, can you reveal who are the winners? But I saw that Hafiz Hadi wasn't on top. This is gonna take for a while, but
Hafiz Hadi jatuh, bro.
So here are the 3 winners. In third place, Azian. Congrats to Azian. I haven't seen Azian name anywhere on the quiz. So Azana, can you scroll down a bit? Okay, at second place, Tihani. Big congratulations to Tihani. Oh, top 3, all questions right. Okay. So the winner, the first place of this quiz tonight is Siti. Give a round of applause, guys. Congratulations, Siti. So, well done to all participants. The race between you guys has been exceptional. Poor Hafiz Hadi. He's been at the top for so long, but now he's in the 4th place. But unlucky to him. So, for those who won, we will contact you guys through your mobile phone number. Jangan risau kita tak scam ke apa, nanti kita ambil tepi. So, yeah, unlucky to all who didn't win, but at least you guys tried. So that is all from us. Thank you so much for tuning in our webinar. I hope you guys had fun. So this will be our goodbye. Sorry if there are any mistakes and flaws during our webinar. Once again, thank you so much for participating, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good night.
Okay, boleh end YouTube live. Kalau dah end, bagi tahu Lisa.